of a person of interest. He's young, wearing dark clothing and sunglasses. CBS's Anna Schechter reports the public's help may be key, but authorities have other tools.
They have a footprint, they have a forearm print, a palm print. That can help them, but it can only go so far. I think that the technology of surveillance footage is really going to be the key here.
Vice President Vance is in Salt Lake City to escort Kirk's body to Arizona on Air Force Two. CBS's Finn Gomez.
Charlie Kirk and Vice President Vance are very close. With Vance, it goes back to 2021, when Vance was considering a Senate run in his home state of Ohio. One of the first people that he reached out to was Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk has been a longtime advocate, really since then, for Vice President Vance.
Michael Wallace reports Kirk's assassination was just the latest case of political violence, and experts fear more.
The attempts on President Trump's life, the shootings of 2 Minnesota state lawmakers. What's fueling the political violence?
An increased level of polarization in the United States, of pro-violence rhetoric on the part of elected officials.
Dr. Garen Wintermute is the director of the Violence Prevention Research Program at UC Davis. Its latest survey found 30% of adults believe violence is justified to advance a political purpose.
That can create a climate of acceptance for violence that makes it easier for violence to happen.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In Florida, a trial is underway for Ryan Ruth, charged with attempting to assassinate President Trump while he played golf last year. Ruth is representing himself and discussed Adolf Hitler in his opening statement. Americans are marking 24 years since the 9/11 attacks in New York.
William F. Abrahamson. Richard Anthony Aceto.
Jonathan O'Brien has the latest on the Koreans detained in a massive immigration raid in Georgia.
After multiple delays, the flight carrying the workers left Atlanta just before noon. The departure follows a week-long diplomatic back and forth after the workers were detained during an immigration raid at a Hyundai manufacturing facility near Savannah. According to an attorney representing 10 of the workers, none of them are facing charges for violating immigration law. So under those circumstances, they would be allowed back into the U.S. immediately.
And checking the numbers on Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher. The Dow up 586 points. The S&P 500 set another record. This is CBS News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're live at the scene of a shooting and standoff, but first, KIRO News Radio traffic. I'm not seeing any major blocking problems right now. A reminder, 2 lanes will be closed on eastbound I-90 near the State Route interchange tonight for road work. That starts at 9 p.m. Travel times are dropping overall. Everett to Seattle, 34 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 17. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. The Autumn Savings Event is on. Save $500 per window, $1,000 per door.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. A shooting and SWAT standoff is over in South Hill. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is there and joins us live with the latest. James.
Heather, that standoff in a home on 129th Avenue Court East ended just before 10 o'clock. It started just before 7 when Pierce County deputies got a call for a man who had been shot. They found a 48-year-old man with a single gunshot wound, then tracked the 20-year-old suspected shooter to a nearby home. After a 2-hour SWAT standoff, the man walked down and surrendered. Now, Deputy Carly Capetto says investigators will try to determine what happened.
We don't know what led up to this, or if this was just an act of violence, or if there was a relationship. We don't know that yet.
The victim is listed in stable condition. Live in South Hill, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Gig Harbor police say they've arrested a person suspected of stealing mail for weeks. Officers recovered a stolen U.S. Postal Service key, as well as stolen mail, a gun, and drugs. They're investigating whether the suspect is tied to other crimes in the region. About 200 people turned out for a vigil at Seattle's Westlake Park to remember a conservative celebrity fatally shot in Utah yesterday. More from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomi-Bow.
More than 200 people joined Seattle pastor Russell Johnson to honor conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement.
GOP chairman Representative Jim Walsh praised Kirk's work.
Charlie Kirk stood for living the reality of freedom of speech.
For many people, Kirk was a voice for young conservatives through his organization, Turning Point USA.
Washington State Cougar fans will now be able to buy beer and wine at the stadium during home football games, just not in the student section. The State Liquor and Cannabis Board approved a pilot program. Board Chair Jim Vollendroff.
When done responsibly, alcohol service can be managed in a way that enhances the fan experience without compromising health and safety.
Husky Stadium has offered alcohol since 2021. The Mariners with a 4-2 win against the St. Louis Cardinals last night, including this.
A double for Jorge Polanco.
The M's swept the Cardinals, and they look to keep the good vibes going as they start a 4-game series tonight against the LA Angels in Seattle. The Mariners are 1 game back of Houston for first place in the AL West. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 70s. It's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome to the show. Happy Thursday, September 11th. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Good to be here.
Good to be here. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. We got more updates on the manhunt for the assassin in the horrible Charlie Kirk killing that happened yesterday. We'll give you more updates on that. The FBI has released some pictures. They have made an announcement. They found a weapon and some ammunition that had some writings on it that are of interest. So we'll give you all those updates a little bit later in the show. Jason Rantz is going to join us at 1 o'clock to talk about all of this and so much more. Also, today is the 24th anniversary of 9/11, which I have very clear memories of. You know, I mean, I know memory always fades a little bit, but I feel like that's one of those moments in life that I can project back in my head and remember the morning that it happened. Yeah. And I'm sure, Spike, you were probably on the air when it happened.
We were on the air when it happened. We're going to talk about it a little later today. There's a local acknowledgement memorial today from firefighters here in Seattle.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a day one of those days that will burn in your memory.
Yeah, forever. Absolutely forever. And Laura, it's interesting when we see because we're kind of we're 3 generations in here. Yeah. And Laura, you must have been a toddler at the time that it happened.
I was a toddler.
You probably have no memory of it.
I really have no memory of it. I know some people my age do, but I wasn't in school. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I have visited the 9/11 memorial in New York because my dad lives out there. And it's
pretty moving, isn't it?
Really moving.
Yeah, I've been there as well.
I was in New York after it happened, but before they built the memorial, they were still clearing, clearing rubble. Wow. It's crazy. Anyway, so we will talk about all of that in just a little bit because I do think it's something that should be remembered, and so we're going to do that on this show. All right, let's jump right into first things first. There has been all of this talk recently about these Krogers that are going to be closing. There's been these back and forth. As of earlier this week, was it just earlier this week or was it last week, where local lawmakers were attempting to sit down with the ownership group at Kroger and saying, listen, is there any way that we can possibly figure out how to keep these grocery stores in here? Because we don't want these food deserts and we don't want all these, we don't want this valuable shopping
resource
area
to the community,
just to disappear.
Yeah.
And so they had a meeting, or at least local lawmakers claim that there was a meeting. Kroger has not confirmed or denied that there was a meeting, but they did send an email, which seems to imply that keeping them open in any capacity is off the table and that they're just now looking to get out of the area and sell the property, which we talked about this, Spike, before you came back. The land, I mean, just the Lake City property that they sit on, the land is extremely valuable. $25 million.
Yeah, it's a part of the city. It's a big piece of land. It's a big footprint.
Big piece of land.
And as you've looked around anywhere in the city, in any direction from downtown that you go, you're looking at now, high density development.
Nowhere to build.
Retail and residential combined. And that's probably going to be the long-term solution for that plot of land. To your point that you made, the city reached out. The city said, look, we're working with law enforcement to mitigate these concerns you have about theft.
Yeah.
And what can we do? They're saying, look, what can we do to, like you said, to avoid this loss of a resource to these communities, not just Lake City, but also in Everett, same situation up there.
It's interesting. So let's see here. In a letter emailed Tuesday to State Rep Jerry, is it Gary or Jerry? Do we know? Gerry. I'm
going to go with Jerry.
Assuming it's Jerry.
This is a Parks and Rec joke.
This is what? Oh, is it?
Oh, is it really?
Art imitates life, first and foremost.
All right, let's say it's Jerry.
We're going to go with Representative Pollitt at this
Jerry
point.
Pollitt, yeah, Representative Pollitt.
Yeah. Is it Poulet? No, I'm sorry.
Poulet? It's Poulet. It's Gary Poulet, Representative Gary Poulet. And between him and Fred President, I assume if it's a Jerry, it actually could be a lady as well.
True.
Is it a guy or a girl?
That's
Know?
why we need to know.
All right, Representative Poulet, doesn't matter. And Fred Meyer President Todd Kammeyer.
Yep.
Is it Kammeyer or no? It's Kammeyer. So here's the thing that I
the cold-hearted. We should refer to the cold-hearted Todd Kammeyer, if I may.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I would say this is a man who understands business. And I would also say that for the local politicians who are now scrambling to keep this thing open, a little too late.
Where were you when we were having problems?
Where were you when they said, hey, guys, we need to get merged because we cannot compete in today's grocery environment where people just buy stuff online. It's delivered right to your house within hours.
Amen.
You don't even have to leave. Yep. We need to merge. And then Bob Ferguson, Attorney General at the time, stepped in and said, not going to merge here in Washington or nationally.
Competition. Lower prices.
Yeah. Ironically, it did the opposite of both of those. Mm-hmm. And so now they're shutting down the location. They cited crime, which I believe we had somebody on the show, Spike, when you were gone, who lived in that neighborhood across the street from this location.
Okay.
And while Seattle City Council President Sarah Nelson was giving a kind of a stump speech in front of the location, and genuinely I think she's probably trying to deal with these issues, maybe not as effectively as she should have or as early as she should have, but she's giving a speech. He comes over to her and says,
give me your wallet. No, I'm sorry.
No. I mean, yeah, he wouldn't have been the first that day. But he said, do you honestly not know that did you not know ahead of time that this was at risk of closing down? Why are you guys only doing something now? This feels like way too late. You're doing it now way too late. And so the problem is they've already moved on from the problem.
Fred Meyer has and
Kroger.
Yeah. Kroger.
They've already made the decision that they can't do business here. And so when they say things like this is interesting. One of the people on the letter said that this is what they emailed or mailed to the Kroger bosses. They said, is there a world in which we can just keep the grocery store portion of the store and just focus on what are the absolute critical services to the community? That would be great if they could have a grocery store. But Kroger has said we can't do it there because there's so much crime. People are stealing things. And that eventually forces you to look at the books. And eventually they went, you know what? We're actually sitting on like a ton of money on this land.
Yeah. And they're a corporation. They're a company in business to be in business and make money.
Here's the other thing that I found interesting about this article. And where was this at? Was this Seattle Times? Yeah, Seattle Times. They're moving ahead to close the stores. And then the aforementioned lawmaker, who we don't know their name, Jerry Poulet. I think it's Jerry Poulet. Jerry Poulet said that lawmakers will move ahead on policies to combat retail theft. Great. That's great. Although, again, they should have done it way earlier. They said they will also consider policies to keep communities from losing full-service grocery stores. These could include incentives such as tax breaks. Great. I think that's great. For companies to keep grocery stores open or include grocery stores in any development, but they could also mean penalties such as vacancy taxes for closing
for
stores.
bailing on the location. Yeah.
Okay, so here's where I think they're now stepping in the wrong direction. If the goal is to get grocery stores incentivized to move into an area, and the city has not shown that they have a good history of keeping these areas friendly enough that you can do business in these areas, you're now also telling these companies, hey, by the way, if you do make the risk, and it's a huge financial risk to come and do business here, if you make that risk and that investment, if you decide that it doesn't work out for you, we're going to further penalize you on top of that.
With the vacancy tax.
With the vacancy tax. Doesn't that just seem like you're actually working against getting people to come in and do business?
It doesn't put flowers on the table when you're inviting them over to dinner.
Right?
It doesn't do
like
that.
When you're courting somebody, do you like...
By the way, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to sue you for my lost time and energy.
100%. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
It's asking for a prenup on the first date. Doesn't say hope and optimism for a relationship moving forward.
No, it actually says like there's a likely chance that you're going to decide to pull up stakes and leave because it's tough to do business here. And when you do that, it's going to cost you.
I think there's optimism in the fact that it's going to be developed. And I think that whoever does develop this property, as we've seen all these different structures and facilities go in, you've got, ground level commerce, ground level stores.
Sure.
You go around Green Lake, and
Might
there are
be
places.
a Panera. Who knows?
Well, it could be grocer. There are grocers around Lake Union, Green Lake. There's development that has retail on the ground, a grocery store on the ground floor, and 6 levels of residential above it.
Yeah, but that's Green Lake.
But here's my point: is this? Green Lake is not Lake City Way. You're right.
Yeah.
But doesn't gentrification bring a kind of a raised? You hope gentrification brings a raised level of quality of life as you move into these neighborhoods. I know as we move up Aurora Avenue, you see a lot of these new buildings going in.
Listen, I think that's a great idea.
I do too.
I think that's great.
But to that effect, though, to be completely transparent and honest, to look at things with open eyes, a lot of those homes are government-assisted housing, and they've brought various unsavory elements to those communities where this new development went in. But if you get a nice residential retail combination along Lake City Way, and you see more and more in that go as you develop it, and the city takes these corrections that they're promises, these corrective measures to address theft, to address crime, to address all the different issues that are facing them.
Do you believe them when they say they want to correct these things?
I've gotta believe them. Otherwise, I'm giving up on the city that I love. And we can't be here as a society. We can't. The Northwest is going to lose what we have if we don't at least give them the benefit of the doubt that their intentions are good. Will they screw it up by overthinking it, debating it, doing some research, doing some studies, spend a lot of money that they waste? I'm sure it's likely that they will. Waste a lot of time and effort.
I will cede the point to you that their intentions may be good.
I would hope. You got to hope
brains.
That, right?
Are their brains good?
I will cede that
That's
to you.
my question.
No.
Are their brains
Oftentimes
good?
not.
Let me perfect example. King County Council is advancing a plan to put a crisis care center specifically for behavioral and substance issues, a walk-in behavioral health and substance use center for anybody who wants to walk in. Local business owners and residents said, hey, you know what? We really don't want this in our neighborhood. This is going to be in Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I know exactly the location.
They said, we're worried about this. We think this is going to be adding an element to the neighborhood that is dangerous. It's not going to be good for business, like you just said.
Yeah.
It's going to not be maybe safe for the people who live here.
And there are residential homes in every direction.
Yes.
And apartment buildings in every direction. Businesses.
And a college campus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like a major university. Seattle University is right there.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a bunch of young co-eds in this neighborhood as well.
My kid goes to school in this neighborhood.
There you go. And so the city says, you know what? We've heard all of your concerns. We're moving ahead unanimously.
Unanimously voting to ignore them.
We're moving ahead.
It's almost comical. You laugh so you don't cry.
So that's why I question their good faith efforts. Maybe their intentions are good. I believe they want to solve the problem of behavioral mental health issues. Certainly we're seeing that all over the news nationally, that's a huge problem, and it's a huge problem in Seattle.
Absolutely.
But their ways of addressing it don't seem to me to be super thought out.
There was a dependency center opened up in Linwood about 2 years ago, and they didn't vet with the community where they were going to drop this. And it's a very similar facility. Mm-hmm. This was specifically for drug addiction as opposed to this being a mental health crisis center.
Sure.
But they didn't confer with the community ahead of time, and they dropped this thing right next to I think it was a YMCA.
Perfect.
Ball field, boys club, boys and girls club facility.
Right on cue.
Seriously. So by the time you make that announcement and the neighborhoods get involved, they decide, okay, we need this, but we're going to put it somewhere a little more practical, a little more common sense based in the location.
Yeah, maybe keep it away from the vulnerable population and the kids.
Maybe so. Maybe in hindsight. I'm all for these crisis centers.
Sure,
I'm all for them, because these people that are going to come to this crisis center, Capitol Hill's the perfect location, but they're already on the streets. They're already on your way to the store. They're already all around our sidewalks, all up and down the Capitol Hill corridor. We got to have it somewhere, but let's do some common sense. I understand the neighbors and the businesses having genuine concerns, and they're valid. And I agree with and support their concerns.
If I was a parent who sent my student to college at Seattle University, you're already paying a lot of money.
You bet.
It's a private school, right?
Seattle, yes. It went up, by the way. It just went up.
Private school,
Thank you very
what is
much.
it, like 48, 50 grand a year or something like that?
I'm not willing to say out loud because I'm paying it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, somewhere in that ball. You're not far off.
I think
you,
it's
like
close.
this crisis center, are in the neighborhood.
I'm in the neighborhood. Yeah, exactly. I would have a real problem with this if I had a young student walking around this campus at all times, because where do you think these people are going to end up going. They're going to try to get onto campus.
Well, in high schools, too. The Northwest School and SAS, Seattle Academy of Arts and Sciences,
Even
are both
worse.
in that radius.
Yep.
Even worse. A younger population even.
Yeah.
So why would the city unanimously pass this through? So what they're going to do now, this was a smaller subcommittee of the King County Council. Now the entire King County Council is going to vote on this.
Okay.
It's going to further consider this on October 7th. There will be an opportunity for additional community input. But if I was somebody who lived in this area, or I had a child who was going to be spending some time in this area, this would be a real problem for me. I would not be happy that they were putting this crisis center there.
Yeah.
It seems crazy to me. And everyone who spoke, I mean, I'm sure there were some people who said, hey, you know what? Great. Yeah, bring them all in. Get as many in here as you can. I think most people reasonably said, these people need help. I would love for you to get them the help. Certainly Seattle voters have given you plenty of money to give them help. But does it have to be in the backyard next to schools? That doesn't make any sense. How is that even legal either? I would imagine a lot of these people that are going to be needing the help are not allowed near schools.
Well, with a 500-foot rule, you mean?
I think there's a very good chance. Quite a few
agree.
of them.
Absolutely. But you put a fire hydrant where you want it to be when you need it. And this crisis center is what's needed. They're trying to put it where they need it. I understand.
Is this what Capitol Hill's full of? Just full of people with behavioral mental issues that need help?
Yeah. Have you been up there?
I try to avoid it.
I'm up there far too often because my kid not only goes to school there, they recreate up there because that's their life. And
sure.
That college-age kid. And the people that are needing, they need help. We've agreed and talked numerous times about how there's got to be a multi-pronged solution to the problems facing the city of drug addiction, mental health crisis, and crime.
They should have a mental health bus that just drives around, picks people up.
Yeah,
Church buses do this sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, hop on and we'll take you to this church. A hop-on situation, like a trolley.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm saying this slightly in jest, but it's actually not a horrible idea. And then offer them a free ride to a location that's maybe a little off-site.
A little less intrusive into a family
little less
neighborhood.
Intrusive into the family neighborhood.
I like how you do this.
And then you send them out to an area where it's safe and you don't worry about them wandering out in some mental crisis episode.
Or making their way to this. Because this crisis center is, while it's needed, it's a moth. It's a flame. And the moths are coming to flame. That's the idea of putting it where it's needed.
Make it a bright bus.
They're all going to be
Make it a real bright
They're
bus.
all going to be coming to this location.
Yeah.
And they all need help that they maybe haven't gotten yet.
Great. Get them the help, but don't do it in this.
Do you remember? And I know we're trying to close out this, but you remember when they had the Bed Bath & Beyond was closing downtown? I think it's on 2nd Avenue, might be 3rd. I think it's 2nd. But they just opened like an arts center there, right? They put in a facility that showcases local artists' endeavors, which I think is wonderful. But at the time, I said, why don't we make it like a homeless treatment, like a triage center for this community? Call it Bed Bath and a Life Beyond. You barely got to even change the sign.
Yeah, the sign still works.
Right?
Save some money.
This is a retail area.
It's too smart. It's too smart for the city.
They just don't. They don't
think.
Plus, we have to think this through and vote a few times, and then vote out the people who say yes. I'm getting new people in, and let them vote.
It's already the sign is already there. It's the problem has been solved in the signage.
You got square footage.
Yeah,
you got a bunch of those. You got beds. Have a sleep. Have a shower.
It's great.
We got a bathroom.
Shave, shower,
and a job application.
You'll feel better.
A little career counseling. Boom. Life Beyond.
Be great. Yeah. It's like that escalator scene in what's the movie with Tom Cruise and what's his face? They're not twins.
You're thinking of not Jerry Maguire. I know exactly. Rain Man.
It's like they come down the escalator and they're looking good. And they're about to,
Yep.
It's like that's what you could do. You head them into the Bed Bath & Beyond and they come down and they're ready to go. Dressed for success, ready for the world.
Prepared for success.
Prepared for success. There you go.
No.
All right. We have this audio you got to hear next. It's pretty crazy. This guy was pretending to be a police officer. He's impersonating a police officer. This happened in Edmonds. We now have the body cam audio from this, the footage and the audio from this. He's doing a really poor job of pretending to be a police officer, but he's trying so hard, and he really wants to be a police officer. It's just too bad that he's not. All right, we're going to play that for you next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald Preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back, and it's time to rally for the campaign to keep kids healthy. Donate at Safeway checkout to help families afford fresh fruits and veggies. With SNAP Produce Match, every dollar goes twice as far. Learn more at your neighborhood Safeway.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. 24 years ago, a day that changed American history forever. The September 11 attacks on New York. In this clip, Gary Horker on our sister station, KIRO 7 TV, was live when the second of two planes crashed into the Twin Towers.
Hold on just a moment. We've got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
In Federal Way, South King Fire will host a memorial coming up at 1 o'clock at Station 64 for the 3,000 people who died. You can find more ways to mark the day at mynorthwest.com. At Seattle's Westlake Park last night, mourners gathered to remember slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake has more.
About 200 raised candles as speakers paid tribute to Kirk.
Charlie was a revolutionary. He just told the truth.
Pastor Russell Johnson organized the vigil.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement, and he ended up paying with his life.
Our state's Democratic U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell and Republican State Representative John Braun are among those issuing statements condemning politically motivated violence. Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
A man is in jail after Seattle police followed a trail of blood to his apartment. SPD says it started with a stabbing on a Metro bus near Denny Park around 7:45 last night. The victim collapsed in front of officers when they arrived. He was taken to Harborview with serious injuries. Police tracked the blood to a 6th-floor hallway on Dexter Avenue. That's where they found a man who had just called 911 saying he'd been attacked on the bus. Turns out he was the suspect. Investigators say the stabbing followed a fight between the two men. It's not clear if they knew each other. The 35-year-old suspect is now booked for investigation of assault. Now your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. All is well between Everett and Olympia right now. Linwood to Seattle, just a 20-minute commute. You're crowded from Northgate into downtown. North 5 is all clear through downtown. South 405 starting to fill in between Factoria and the VMAC, but you're still moving along at a good clip. In fact, Bellevue to Renton, just 15 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is at 40 minutes. You've got a brief backup near the JBLM main gate. Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise as Subaru of Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. And now your weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Well, the clouds won't burn off until about mid-afternoon, and then we're in partly sunny skies. We should reach right around 70 this afternoon. Cloudy and 62 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. The story I saw, I was very interested in this, and then I became extremely interested when we got the police body cam footage, which is kind of hilarious. There was a guy, this was in Kitsap County. You have a Bremerton police officer who is responding to a call of a fire at a parking garage. This is this is about a week ago. And apparently there was another officer who responded to the call as well. Shows up to the scene, is in the, like you see cops driving around in Ford Explorers. They've got lights and everything. This one looked a little bit off, and the Bremerton cop kind of has his spidey senses tingling a little bit. There was something about this guy who showed up that didn't quite seem right, so he starts asking him questions and talking with him, and comes to find out that this guy is not actually a cop, but was listening in on the radio, responds to this call and potentially other calls, but this call. And so they end up interviewing him. Other Bremerton cops show up. They're interviewing the guy. It's all on body cam footage, and the audio is pretty amazing. If you watch this guy, here's the thing I know about cops. I got three good friends who are in law enforcement.
And I've had multiple interactions with from a more professional basis. But yeah, go ahead.
There's one thing that you know for sure about law enforcement. They have a cop voice that they can shift into. They're speaking with authority.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You believe what they're saying, and they have gravitas.
And if I may, they also have a very judicious use of words.
Yeah.
They don't just go on and on and on about
They're not speaking willy-nilly. They don't get paid by the word like we do.
No, right, correct.
Yeah. So this is some body cam footage. Here's the audio. We're going to play this for you. This cop starts he's trying really hard. You can tell in this audio. He's trying really hard to establish his bona fides as a police officer.
Yes.
And he's saying things that the real cop is going like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Listen to this.
I thought you were like one of our detectives at first.
I know some of the guys work with the task force.
This is the guy speaking right now who's claiming that he was showing up to be like a detective or something. He's the one who's the fake cop.
So I retired from Baltimore City after 27 years. Came out here. They wanted to put me in the jail. I know a lot of detectives from Edmonds, from the gang network and stuff like that. The anti-narcotics training on base every year.
The many gang detectives in Edmonds.
Yeah, it's as a resident, I'm not sure that. I think there's a building for that.
Also, I think you would have picked him out pretty quick, Spike, because he says he retired after 27
years. In Balmer, he had nothing like a Balmer accent, hun. I'm telling you, he didn't use the word hun one time.
Not a bit.
Guy, he was trying too hard to sell
100%
who he was.
Yeah.
And that their spidey sense, like you said, their radar went up.
He's, as the kids would describe him, he's thirsty.
Yes.
He's a little thirsty to be a cop.
Yes.
Here we go.
He was talking to customers.
This is they went into a local 7-Eleven, and this is a real police call. They went to 7-Eleven, and a witness told them that this guy had also responded there as a cop.
He was talking to customers.
Yeah, customers inside.
And he told them that he was a police officer?
Yeah.
He was intimidating last night. He told a couple of my friends to shut up and keep walking.
So he's going around trying to give orders, pretending to be a cop. They eventually do arrest him, and he's now being charged. And in the video, you can see he's wearing it looks like a costume. It looks like a cop costume. It's a fairly good one. Like if I was just it looks like
average
person on the street,
gear, right? He's got a vest on that looks like a Kevlar vest. He's got all the accoutrements of cuffs and a trouble light and a handheld walkie-talkie. He's strapped, by the way.
Yeah.
With a gun he is not legally
supposed to have.
Not
supposed to have.
Not to mention the Edmonds badge pinned to this costume.
He, let's see, he's going to be facing charges of unlawful possession of a firearm, criminal impersonation. They actually called his place of business. I believe he was a security guard for the Salvation Army.
He was in enforcement to a degree. Yeah.
At Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And he's responding as a cop.
Off!
Yeah. And dressed as a total cop. Do you kind of feel bad for this guy? A little bit? Like, do you think maybe there's something else going on? And maybe he's, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This guy's trying to chase an unfulfilled dream.
He wants it so bad.
So bad. Like you say, he's thirsty for this. And obviously, it's a guy, he's 40s?
49 years old. 49 years old, so
right.
27 years on the job, retired is not possible.
Probably taken a few runs at it and not made the cut.
Yeah, and if he has,
I'm just a black explorer with a blue light in the dashboard away, man.
The officer checked the state license plate database and found that this guy did not have a driver's license.
Riding dirty.
And he also had been previously convicted of a false bomb hoax in Maryland in 2016. So he actually does have some history in Maryland.
Yeah.
It's not the one that he claimed, but he's got some history. This is the sound of the cops as they are now arresting him, and they find something in his fake police car that I thought was kind of interesting.
Can we not do this in front of everybody? I mean, really?
Yeah. You're doing just fine keeping your hand over that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
no
it.
problem, man.
What agency did you say you were with?
Edmonds?
You're with Edmonds?
Edmonds, yes.
We checked it. We call Edmonds. Right? Edmonds says you're not on their payroll. Never have been. They don't know you.
Is this guy going to jail?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he's got a firefighter helmet, too. He's ready to do it all.
Oh my gosh.
He's just collecting. Now, ironically, he could probably pick a lot of this stuff up at Salvation Army. Aren't they big on costumes? Don't they have costumes?
They trot him at a Halloween time.
Or is that Goodwill? What am I thinking of?
Goodwill has a Halloween
You think they
department.
have an employee discount?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they have an employee discount.
I think it's Goodwill that has the Halloween department put together.
At Salvation Army, wouldn't somebody possibly donate like an old firefighting helmet?
Sure.
And then he just puts it in his car. And I just think it's funny, these cops, I mean, they deal with, we've seen in the news lately, all the horrible people that police officers have to deal with. And every once in a while they come across a guy like this who you can tell when they're all standing around, all these Bremerton cops are standing around there, you can tell that they're just kind of, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly not a cop. They look in his window, he has a fire helmet there, and they're like, geez, he was trying to do everything.
Oh, gosh, yeah. But it wasn't like he was just trying to help out. I mean, it's clear, it's one thing if you show up and you're carrying buckets of water toward a fire. You want to be a fireman, great. Sure. Or you're holding the crowd back at the edge of a real crime scene. Now this guy's walking in stores.
Even those would not be recommended.
No. I'm not. But my point is
showing up with a gun.
Yeah, with a gun
and telling people to move along.
Yes, and getting uppity with potential witnesses and telling people to just shut your mouth and keep moving. And
these are all things that you see in movies. Like that's the crazy part about this. Yeah. It's like to tell somebody just move along. That's like I swear I've heard that in many movies.
Sure,
with cops.
Yeah.
All right, move it along, pal. Keep it going. So he's just playing out some fantasy. But can we post photos of this guy, Laura, on Facebook or something, or can we show these? Because these are Edmonds police, right? Or not Edmonds. This is
Bremerton.
Bremerton police. Yeah. So it's a local law enforcement.
He was pretending to be at Edmonds, but Edmonds police we had nothing to do with this guy.
Yeah, he said he was an Edmonds gang cop, or he knew
somebody in the gang division, the drug division.
A lot of friends in the gang division. But I wonder how much he was studying for this, because it does, and he's also listening.
He's got a scanner.
The scanner.
And he's rolling around in, all blacked out Explorer.
His Explorer, if this showed up behind me,
yeah.
Aside from the lights not being correct, they said it had
blue lights.
It had blue lights.
Yeah.
Now cops have red and blue.
Blue and red, yep, exactly.
Which does delineate them. And so if he shows up in blue lights, but if this guy showed up behind me and flashed on those blue lights and he got out of his car, he's got his tactical stuff on. He looks like, he's got his Batman belt. He's got all that stuff.
He's been charged with the crime of impersonating a law enforcement officer.
Would you buy it?
Sure, I would. Of course I would.
Yeah, look at him here. He's on the YouTube page here. You can see him. I would totally buy that. He looks like a real cop, which is super scary that he was responding. And good for these Bremerton cops for so quickly. I mean, because they're police officers, they recognize things that you or I might not pick up on.
Right, they're trained. And like you said, the guy, he overshared. Oh, yeah, I was 27 years in Baltimore. I moved down, and then they wanted to put me in, maybe work in jail. I don't want to do that. And I got friends with them, but this guy's just trying too hard.
And he just happens to do the objectively coolest stuff a cop can do, right? Narcotics.
Gang narcotics. Yeah. They tried to put me on parking and traffic. I ain't having none of that. I'm not going to check meters for no man.
This poor guy. There's a part of me that feels, I actually genuinely feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, because he's obviously unfulfilled in his life.
Yeah,
right?
In the false bomb hoax. I mean, that's not a good thing. You can't apply to many police stations.
You know what? If there's a crisis center built, he can work security maybe, as a resident working kind of volunteer.
Do you want this guy to be the only guy standing between your kid and
no.
somebody who needs mental health services? I don't either.
We'll give him a real gun. We'll give him a wooden gun. You can shine it up with some shellac. Put some oil on that.
Chasing waterfalls.
Oh.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Oh my gosh.
All right. If you get that inside joke, then you're a good friend of the show.
Yeah, you are. You're a welcome addition here, yeah.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Spike was just recently, speaking of Baltimore, Spike was just
I was doing a little detective work, by the way.
And you were doing detective work. Looking for your long lost son.
I made the effort.
We get a message. There's one person on the YouTube page that every single day says, when is Spike going to update us on his long lost son? So we're going to answer that question when we come back. Stick around.
Seattle's Morning News.
I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join Charlie Harger and me tomorrow morning.
What's the cure for the political divide in America? That's the answer.
Leland Vittert of News Nation weighs in on how to unite the country amid tragedy. Mariners, Angels will have the highlights from Game 1 of the big series, and it will be Friday. Paul Holden has your weekend planner tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder. an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt ductless heat pump system from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence in your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game on Sunday, September 21st. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. So do it every day, September 9th through September 15th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike O'Neill was just out of town recently. He was visiting friends and riding jet skis and sunning himself and getting tan.
Yeah. Eating food that would have killed you, by the way.
Oh, a lot of shellfish?
Every shellfish crustacean known to man.
You do one of those big things where they
boil
it all up and then pour it on the table.
Throw it on the table. You bet you got to sift through a boil. Well, yeah, got to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were also looking for your long lost son?
I was.
Right?
You know, it was.
Potentially.
Allegedly. No, but I had to make the effort. It was worthwhile. I'm not like I had to. I decided it was worth my time to make the effort. We talked about this story for several months ago. We brought it to everybody's attention when it was brought to mind back in May and June. That there was a young man floating about that part of the country, back at the beach resort town I went to, that looked an incredibly a lot like me. Mm-hmm. And his age, there's the picture Laura's sharing up on our YouTube channel right now. His age would say that, okay. It's one thing when you've got a doppelganger that lives in Finland.
Yeah.
But when there's a kid floating around that's in your old stomping grounds that looks scarily like you.
A lot like you.
And we put the call out for a local radio station in Baltimore that my friends do the morning show at 98 Rock. And they reached out to their audience to no avail. So I figured while I'm going to be in the neighborhood, it would be foolish not to at least go pursue, see if anybody knows this guy.
And for anybody, can we put this picture back up, Lauren? Keep it up because I want people to see it.
Do you know this man?
See how much he looks like Spike. But the reason that you don't know if he's your son or not is because you worked at a bar on one of the
on the boardwalk.
On the boardwalk.
You betcha.
And you were a very popular bartender, I take it.
I had liquor.
And
they wanted it.
And they wanted it, and they were willing to pay a horrible price for it.
Some of the more attractive ones weren't asked to pay that horrible price, which made me even more popular. I think the statute of limitations has expired. Yeah, pretty girls drank free, if not cheaper.
Sure.
Well,
it cost them eventually. So you are suspecting that there's a possibility that this could actually be your son as the result of a night of passion.
Yeah, you never know.
That didn't go beyond a night.
No. Well, that's one of my wife's friends asked, was there somebody special? I said, no, everybody had an equal chance to win the prize.
Sure.
I was a non-discreet
nobody caught
spreader
me.
of
Dang.
joy. Yeah. So I have very little to go on because the guy who sent that picture to me is a friend of mine, a guy named Craig Gass. I met this guy who looks just like you. Craig, being a professional comedian, not a real detective by nature, didn't think to get the young man's name.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about him.
Yeah.
I do know, though, from the photo that we have, and that's just an isolated facial shot to give you the recognition similarities. There's a bumper sticker on his, if that is indeed his truck, and he's wearing a T-shirt from very well-established local watering holes at the beach.
So he's a local, presumably.
Yeah. You don't come to town for a weekend and buy a shirt and put a sticker on your car. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Having very little to go on, I made it a point to stop into these two very well-established watering holes.
That he has on his shirt.
He's on his shirt and on his truck.
Yeah.
And I went in first during the daytime hours and talked to the daytime staff. And I'm like, and you can imagine the scene. A guy comes in the bar. Hey, I got a question for you. You know this man? I feel like I'm, a low rent.
You felt like that fake detective we just talked about.
Before I knew that guy, a Timu Magnum PI, if I may.
Sure.
Right? So I went out, and first off, the first bartender's like, well, he looked at me like I was looking to serve this guy papers or something. So I kind of honed my game as I went through the process.
Did you print up a picture of him?
No. Don't skip ahead.
Oh, okay.
I showed him on my phone.
Gotcha.
And I told the story, and I had to tell it. And I don't know him. Nobody here in the wait staff didn't know him. I went to the other place that he was at, the Cabanas, and asked them. And I don't know him. But I asked Teddy. He's the manager. Blah blah blah. I didn't know him. So I went back at night because there's different staffs day and night, right? I figured I was try as many times as I could to see.
Yeah.
Same scenario both times. Now I don't know the guy, and I had to explain.
Very tight-lipped in these places.
They are.
They want to protect the clientele.
Close. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I did meet one lovely barmaid at Cabanas, And I also learned through the course of my detective sleuthing, it helps when you sit down and actually buy a drink first.
That does help.
And strike up, put fat tip on your first purchase.
Loose
now
lips.
they're more willing to give up the ghost,
100%.
That's me after visiting cabanas going, well, you wasn't here. Oh, look, I look so bloated. Shellfish is not healthy for you. Casey, the lovely barmaid, she loved my story. Loved it. She goes, this is great. I hope you find him. She says, let me ask you something. When did you hear about this? I'm like, back around Rock the Boards, Boardwalk Rocks.
Sure.
Back in May. She goes, why don't you put up flyers?
Smart.
I know. I'm like, smack the forehead. So I printed up.
You printed up flyers?
I printed up flyers. We can share the flyer photo.
You have the flyer? Okay.
Yeah. But I printed up flyers in the bottom. You know, the little rip off a tag. Hey, son, want to have a catch?
And you have the number? You put your number up there?
No, I put my email on it.
That's
me at Wild Bill's.
Nothing yet. No emails
nothing yet. Nothing yet. But she's like, why didn't you? And she's like, well, it's season's over now. Why don't you do this in May? I'm like, yeah, you're right.
He's gone back into hibernation.
Yeah. He's met a plump, good cooking woman.
Yeah.
He's going to winter down.
He will be back in summer. Oh, that's crazy. All right, we're going to show more pictures of that later. We got a lot more coming up. Jason Rantz next. Stick around.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield, terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
The Seahawks hit the road for the first time this season in hostile Pittsburgh. Seahawks, Steelers, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Hey, we've got Wes Jones here of sellwithwes.com. Wes, what if I'm a home seller, but I've got a unique property? Maybe I have a lot of acreage or a horse pasture, or a castle and a moat, or a house with some sort of unique design. Can you help with that?
If you've got something like that, I definitely want to hear from you guys. Working with unique properties is one of my favorite things to do in real estate. And the reason why is I get to utilize my full arsenal of marketing techniques. We can do aerial photography, we can do video walkthroughs, we can do actual video, we can do target marketing. But one of the unique things that I can do that other realtors don't is some of the access to other media that I can advertise your properties in. The local blogs, Seattle Times, King 5, all of my properties have been featured on programs like those.
That's Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. He's sold a ton of unique properties, and he can sell yours too. Sellwithwes.com, sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Authorities in Utah are still looking for the gunman who shot and killed Charlie Kirk yesterday. CBS's Scott McFarland reports photos were released of a person of interest. He's young, wearing dark clothes and sunglasses. And there's also a reward.
The search, which is now eclipsed 24 hours or about to eclipse 24 hours, could end at any time. But these new postings, the FBI posting a reward, the FBI posting a photo or two of the suspected shooter, indicate they may not be as farther along in the journey as we thought this morning.
Vice President J.D. Vance will escort Kirk's body to his hometown. CBS's Aaron Navarro has more from the White House.
Vice President Vance flying to Utah today to meet with Kirk's family, as well as have Kirk's body on Air Force Two, traveling back to Arizona. Said in a long post last night that Kirk, quote, didn't just help us win in 2024, he helped us staff the entire government.
President Trump paid tribute to Kirk at a 9/11 service at the Pentagon.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
That ceremony was moved from the 9/11 memorial to an inner courtyard due to security. In New York, Marla Diamond reports they cleared the decks of the Intrepid Museum to create space to pack up food for this National Day of Service.
While many tears will be shed at the 9/11 memorial and beyond,
this observance that we've created around the country is life-affirming.
Jay Winnick, who lost his brother Glenn, co-founded the 9/11 Day of Service.
And it's a positive path forward, and I think it gives people hope.
You packed more than 1,260,000 meals.
Winnick's charity estimates some 30 million Americans will participate in this day of service, which Congress officially designated in 2009. Marla Diamond for CBS News, New York.
Judges temporarily blocked the Trump administration's efforts to remove immigrant Guatemalan and Honduran children from the U.S. Judges also issued a nationwide block on administration plans to cut off Head Start for people in the country illegally. More workers applied for unemployment benefits last week, and a report on inflation showed prices are continuing to rise. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
It's not runaway, but it does give the Fed an indication that we are continuing to see inflation tick up. That's going to be something that they're thinking about at next week's interest rate decision.
Wall Street's cheering that possibility. Stocks finished higher. The S&P 500 setting another record. The Dow was up 616 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Washington students are showing higher test scores than they have in years. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by ProSculpt. Hey, if you're just hitting the road, there isn't much out there to slow you down. We're looking good out there. South 5 heading into Seattle has a little off and on slowing between Northgate and downtown. Linwood to Seattle, just 20 minutes. North 5, you're going to slow just a bit there at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Those lake bridges wide open. Bellevue to Renton, 20 minutes. You're crowded from I-90 to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Southbound 167, you're starting to fill in the south end between Algona and Pacific. ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com. Well, good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Today, the leaders of the Seattle Fire and Police Departments took time to reflect on the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the United States.
Present. Hard. On a windy morning atop the Space Needle, and with Police Chief Sean Barnes at his side, Fire Chief Harold Scoggins raised the American flag as a way to remember the firefighters and police officers who gave their lives 24 years ago.
It's important for us to remember what can happen and how our folks put their lives on the line.
The names of the 343 New York firefighters who died on 9/11 were read aloud at Seattle fire stations this morning. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Washington students are posting higher test scores in English and math than they have in years, but
very large gaps still persist, particularly among students who are low income versus those who do not experience poverty.
State School Superintendent Chris Rakedahl says 71% of students met grade level standards in English and 63% in math. Washington ranks fourth in math and second in English among 12 states using the same test vendor. Gas prices in Washington are climbing, and there's more than one reason why. AAA says the statewide average is $4.61 a gallon, second only to California. It's $4.78 in Seattle. Refinery issues and seasonal maintenance are tightening supply across the West Coast, but critics say Washington's carbon pricing program is also driving costs. The state's latest auction under the Climate Commitment Act raised carbon prices to $64.30 per ton. They say that translates about 57 cents per gallon in added fuel costs. And now your weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. The clouds will persist until about mid-afternoon, and then we're partly sunny with an afternoon high near 70. It's cloudy and 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. A lot of stuff to cover. We're going to get into the continuing coverage right now of the Charlie Kirk story. The very, very sad news. He was assassinated yesterday on a campus in Utah, just sitting behind a table with a microphone, talking to students, exchanging ideas, and he was shot from a couple hundred yards away. There's a manhunt going on right now for his assassin. The FBI is on the scene. They have released some pictures from, I think, a ring cam or maybe like a backdoor security camera.
Yeah, pretty clear images though. And now there's also footage now of what they appear to be a sniper perched on a building opposite the venue where Charlie Kirk was speaking yesterday. So much is happening so quickly. Found a weapon. They've identified.
They found a weapon.
So many things.
Yeah, they found a bolt-action rifle in the woods nearby the scene where they say was the escape route. It looked very planned. I mean, it looked like this guy had a clear direction that he was heading, and obviously he has evaded. He's the most hunted man in America right now, so he has evaded police thus far. So who knows when they're going to find him? Obviously, I hope they will find him, but we'll see as that happens. But we want to welcome Jason Rantz from the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 in with us now. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
I wish this was one of our normal conversations where we can talk jovially about lighter topics, but this is just a horrible day yesterday. You had a good article on Seattle Red that I think is really worth a read. People should check it out. I thought your coverage yesterday, you're on right after we are, so I listened to you on my way home, and I thought your coverage yesterday was really great.
By the way, I heard you on this morning, Seattle Morning News, and I mentioned to you when I came in today, I thought you did a beautiful job.
I appreciate that.
And we've got all the details, and they're coming in fast and furiously from all directions. But what struck me was the fact, and this is something, if I may, Jake, for a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
You lost a dear friend. And it's hard to do that in life. And when your personal loss is now the lead story in the country, I can't imagine what you're going through. So and I understand that there's the requirements as a news professional, a commentator that you are. There's a certain amount of decorum and professionalism that's required to do what you do. So I just want to compliment you first off on the job you've done, and express my sincere condolences for your loss. And you've made me see. because, you and I don't agree on a lot of things, but I've come to know who you are as a person. And it helps me open my eyes to points of view not my own. And I know your relationship with Charlie Kirk has kind of, in the last 24 hours, has helped me kind of see people, and Charlie Kirk in particular, as more than what I thought he was.
And I'm glad to hear you say that there are, I think, people who act in bad faith who pull, 7-second quotes from Charlie with the only intent to smear him, who, upon actually listening to him and getting content that is part of his speeches or his debates that he has, it's completely different from what people are being told by some. Yeah. And this has essentially forced folks into getting more content of his and actually learning who he was. And this assassin, whomever it turns out to be, I mean, the intent of a murder like this is to silence someone. In this case, it was to silence Charlie Kirk. The opposite is going to happen. Yeah. It's not going to silence him. It's going to amplify his message and messages, and it will reignite a passion behind the principles and values that he stood for in a way that I think is good for all of us.
It's really interesting. My wife and I, I got home from work yesterday and we were talking about this and just kind of downloading our days to each other. She's a stay-at-home mom and takes care of our 4 boys, and I'm here doing this, and we have very different days. And we get home, we get the kids to bed, and we're kind of talking. She had heard about what happened yesterday, but she didn't really know anything about Charlie Kirk. In fact, I think she said that yesterday might have been the first time she'd actually heard his name. Mm-hmm. She's just not dialed in to that community, and she doesn't spend a great deal of time focused on politics. Most of her time is focused on mom podcasts and things that deal with small children, which is a wonderful blessing that she's not tied into some of the stuff that we have to be aware of all the time. But she's like, I'd like to see what he's all about. So we went on YouTube last night and just kind of sat there for a while, and we watched some of these. He goes to these, he went to these college campuses, and he would have these interactions with folks. And you're right, he was a guy who was very, very out of context, demonized. And when you sit and watch his interactions, can you think of anybody who was more willing to have conversations with a wider variety of people? Literally just an open microphone, just saying, here's an open mic. Let's talk about anything that you want to talk about. Let's exchange ideas, and we'll see which is the best idea. Or we'll both agree that we don't like each other's ideas, but we've at least had a conversation.
Yeah, he kind of pioneered the whole concept, and obviously conservatives will do this, and it's become kind of a style of event where you go and open the microphone and encourage people who disagree with you to speak first. And, Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles has done that. I mean, I've done that before. That was spearheaded, I think, by Charlie, who made it his goal, which is to have conversations and debates civilly, but have debates that are passionate on all sorts of issues. And, oftentimes he would get the person, the complete opposite of his, who would show up to yell at him or name call. But then every once in a while, you get a really good conversation with someone who just happens to disagree with him and did so in good faith. And those conversations were always really worth listening to. But ultimately, he's someone who viewed everything he believed through his deep religious faith. Yeah. And that's why a lot of folks at least on the right, are calling this almost like him being a martyr, because he was religious and believed that he was being targeted because of his religious beliefs that framed how he saw the world of politics.
It's interesting because he started this, he famously was not a college graduate, was quite proud of the fact that he was not a college graduate, would often go to college, and then ironically would go to colleges and be surrounded by thousands and thousands of college students and have really great back and forth conversations. One of his prompts when he was at some of these colleges, we watched one of these last night, is he goes, all right, here's what I want to talk about. And he's talking to 5,000 college students. He goes, I think you're being scammed right now. Prove me wrong. And he's having conversations with them, and he's saying, you know what? You're being asked to take classes and to pay for them that are going to serve you in no way in the future. So he'd have these types of conversations. But it was just, he started that organization after he was rejected at Turning Point after he was rejected from, I think he tried to get into West Point, right? And I think it was West Point. So he is not accepted into West Point, and then he says, you know what? Okay, I'm going to try a different path here. And so he starts this thing when I think he was 18 years old when he started Turning Point.
He might have been even 17, 18.
He might have even been 17 or 18 years old. He grew this thing into, now it's on like 1,000 school campuses all around the country.
3,500 plus.
Wow.
When you're counting also high schools.
Yeah. He focused on the youth. It was a massive part why Trump was successful in his second election. And he did all this by the age of 31. And, agree with him, disagree with him. That's a tremendous success.
He knew how to talk to younger Americans. And for the most part, I mean, the goal here was to introduce conservative principles and values and ideas from a conservative perspective. Because oftentimes, especially on college campuses, but also in high schools, conservatism is being defined by liberals. They're the ones who have had so much control over the conversations on campuses. Again, in particular, college campuses, which are, very clearly left-leaning to say the least. And so he wanted to try to define it and expose, these younger Americans and future, politicians and doctors and CEOs to conservative values. And obviously the intent was he wants you to become a conservative. And it created a huge movement. That's why, in particular, younger people are so devastated, profoundly devastated by this murder. He spoke their language.
I was watching a bunch of videos earlier of younger influencers in their early 20s who many of whom disagreed with him, but got the opportunity. They used to do these things where it's called like 20 on 1 or 25 on 1 or whatever the thing is, where it's like
he did one recently.
Where you sit in the middle of a room. They do it from both. They do it from both sides. There'll be one person in the center, and they'll be surrounded by 25 people who have an opposing point of view, and there'll be a clock. And it's very frenetic and kind of like it's high tension, and people are racing to. It is fun. People are racing to sit down, and then you have the opportunity to debate him on whatever the topic that is suggested, and your other people in the room, if they raise enough flags, then you have to get out of the chair and give somebody else a chance.
Because you've convinced the opposing viewpoints surrounding this conversation. You've made them see the other side of the issue.
Well, or they're just
oftentimes,
or they're just sick of the person debating. They want to see somebody else get in to take shit.
True.
So anyway, this one guy in particular who had been on a few of these debated Charlie Kirk, and he's a young influencer. He's probably 22, 23 years old. He was in tears on his page, and he could not have been farther in disagreement with Charlie Kirk on many, many, many things. But he recognized that the guy was out there exchanging ideas with people and how valuable that was, because on these college campuses, that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
They're not exchanging ideas. In fact, you're oftentimes...
They're blocked from coming on campus in most cases.
And if
they don't want opposing viewpoints even to come on to speak on campus.
If your college was like mine, then you literally tried to not be super loud about your values because you didn't want to run into a professor who might have had a problem with that and looked a little harder at grading your papers.
Yeah, there's a study out.
That happened to me, by the way, Spike.
I don't doubt
just came out within the last few days. We've got it at seattlered.com, and it showed in Washington State amongst students across the board, something like 73% said they didn't feel comfortable being open and honest about their political viewpoints. And sure, that will include liberals as well.
Sure.
But, obviously, again, our college campuses, particularly in Washington, are pretty far to the left. So it's a lot of conservatives who just don't feel comfortable. And Charlie was trying to change that. And what is so incredibly tragic in all of this is that the shooter could have just as easily picked up the microphone and actually had a debate with Charlie and instead decided to murder him.
What do you think the lasting legacy will be? I mean, in your article, you basically say they tried to silence him with a gun and a bullet, and you can't silence ideas like that.
You can't assassinate political figures, lawmakers or not, without amplifying them. And I'm not aware of any assassinations that have actually had that impact where you've truly just silenced people. The intent is to silence folks. And just in the last 24 hours, I think everyone on the right, with the help of some good faith folks on the left, made it clear that, yeah, you're not going to silence conservative viewpoints. You're not going to intimidate. You're not going to get away with this. We're not going to allow you to do that. And, last night there was a vigil in Seattle I spoke at, and, you get on that stage.
Was that the Westlake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get on the stage, and for a moment, you do say to yourself, okay, I'm kind of putting myself as a target. And we always, in the back of our minds, know that.
Yeah.
Charlie knew that. He spoke about that. But the intent is so that we don't get on that stage and don't speak, and we're all rejecting that.
When you get a moment like that where you step in front of a crowd and you're a respected member of this community, there's a responsibility you must feel in what you say to this crowd, because words are powerful, as we've seen from yesterday's horrific events. Words have weight, especially to impassioned people about their points of view. Well, what's that like when you're about to step up? And do you speak from the cuff?
Yes.
Because I believe that you didn't prepare.
I didn't know it was speaking. I got there.
Okay. Well, that makes it easy.
Yeah, I got there with the intent of just, covering it.
Sure,
and Pastor Johnson walked up to me. He had been on the show like 90 minutes earlier.
Russell Johnson.
And he asked me if I wanted to speak. I said, sure. He said, okay, you're going to go up at this point. Oh, okay. And John Curley was standing next to me. He's like, do you know what you're going to say? Well, I don't know. And when I got up there, I just said what was on my mind.
Yeah, that's what delivers authenticity.
Sure,
of your message to the crowd.
Can I play you guys? I thought this was kind of interesting. One of the sites that I go to, and they highlighted this speech back in 1968 after Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. This was Bobby Kennedy, who was already speaking at an event and was told seconds earlier that Martin Luther King Jr. had been assassinated, and then he had the unfortunate duty of delivering this message to the crowd. But it ended up being one of his most famous speeches. I mean, sadly, he himself was assassinated, but eventually. But he spoke to the crowd, and he was saying, this is ironically, like Charlie Kirk's organization, a turning point. And he's talking about what are we going to choose for the direction of the country? And I just thought it was interesting. I just want to play you a little bit of this audio. Here you go. This is Bobby Kennedy, 1968.
In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are and what direction we want to move in.
He also talked about a poem that he thinks about in a moment like this.
But we have to make an effort in the United States. We have to make an effort to understand, to get beyond or go beyond these rather difficult times. My favorite poem, my favorite poet was Aeschylus, and he once wrote, even in our sleep, pain which cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom through the awful grace of God. What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another.
I thought that was so, the timing of it is perfect, describing a lot of the feelings that people were having yesterday. My wife and I last night, I know a lot of people did the same, but we were both struck by, and she had just heard about this guy. We were both struck by the heaviness, the feeling, and a lot of it for us was, we have small children, and he had small children. I think he had a 2 or 3 year old daughter and a relatively new baby boy and a wife. To think what they're having to deal with minute to minute right now is super depressing. And, that was really heavy on my heart last night as I was thinking about this. And then I woke up thinking about it today too. And then I saw this and I just thought this was a really nice, I want to close on this part right here. This is Kennedy talking about how it's our job to figure out how to, and he quotes the Greeks here, how to tame the savageness in mankind, because there are people who do these horrible things and they have an instinct to do these horrible things, but the rest of us don't have to do that. And I want to play this for you.
Dedicate ourselves to what the Greeks wrote so many years ago, to tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world. Let us dedicate ourselves to that. and say a prayer for our country and for our people. Thank you very much.
Anyway, Jason, thank you for coming in, sharing your stories with us. We really appreciate it. And prayers go out to Charlie Kirk's family. They're going to need them. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Seattle's morning news.
I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join Charlie Harger and me tomorrow morning.
What's the cure for the political divide in America? That's the answer.
Leland Vittert of News Nation weighs in on how to unite the country amid tragedy. Mariners, Angels will have the highlights from Game 1 of the big series, and it will be Friday. Paul Holden has your weekend planner tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies. to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines and I was able to sleep through the night. And that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for our huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The FBI has now released images of a man who may be connected to the assassination of Charlie Kirk in Utah. CBS's Scott McFarland has the latest on the manhunt.
The investigation has also indicated that the escape was made by jumping off the roof by the shooter into some woods where he ditched the gun, then into a neighborhood.
There is a $100,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Meanwhile, supporters of Kirk say his death will only make their voices grow louder. Sierra Elliott is vice chair of Washington State Young Republicans.
Just because people disagree with us doesn't mean we need to just fold our cards and say we're done.
Washington's governor, meantime, has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff in honor of victims of political violence, including Charlie Kirk. More from KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun.
This comes after an order by President Trump last night ordering flags to be lowered through Sunday at federal buildings. Today, the flags are already flown at half-staff in remembrance of 9/11.
And today, local firefighters honored first responders who died on 9/11 by climbing the steps of the Space Needle. Bothell firefighter Kelly Melton is among them.
It's all about never forgetting and keeping their memories alive.
Seattle Fire Chief Harold Scoggins also leading a flag-raising ceremony this morning at the Space Needle in their honor. We turn now to the closing bell reports, and inflation inched higher in August, up 2.9% from a year ago. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says groceries saw their biggest annual increase in 3 years.
A lot of the inflation that we saw came from that, as well as shelter. These are necessities. They are not the need to have things, right? You need to eat. You need to get those groceries. And then energy. That has traditionally been an area that has kept the overall inflation rate lower, but that ticked higher this month.
And more signs of a softening labor market. Jobless claims last week jumped to their highest level in almost 4 years. At close today on Wall Street, solid gains. The Dow up 617, S&P gained 55, NASDAQ ahead by 157. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Seahawks has our update, and not much going on out there. South 5 heading into Seattle, getting heavy through the U District to I-90, but you're still moving pretty good. Linwood to Seattle at 25 minutes. North 5 slows just briefly there at the West Seattle Bridge. Both lake bridges are all clear. Bellevue to Renton, 20 minutes. You're crowded now from South Bellevue down to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Southbound 167 crowded in the south end between Pacific into Puyallup. Seattle to Federal Way, 25 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, just 35. And Bellevue up to Everett is just a half-hour drive. 12's tickets for the Seahawks' 50th season are on sale now. Let's pack Lumen Field, bring the noise, and make history together this season. Secure your seats today at Seahawks.com/tickets. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Still mostly cloudy. We are expecting clouds to break up a bit by later this afternoon, at least partly cloudy skies by tonight. Right now, 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Boy, Seattle students, very unhappy. Very, very unhappy right now. Yeah. They
School's
got big
just
problems.
back in. What? Understaffing?
It's not understaffing.
Lack of supplies?
It's not lack
Is
of supplies.
it security?
It's not security. Although, actually, they do need security. They should reintroduce SROs to those schools. They care. Okay, let me say this. They have problems. They just care about the wrong problems.
Okay.
The things
Tell
that
me
the
more.
students are upset about is they have to split their lunch period.
I'm sorry, what?
Splitting their lunch period.
Okay.
It's like a Johnny Carson setup. It's like the Cardinal thing. Splitting their lunch period.
Okay.
So they're upset at the high school. Thousands and thousands of these students, boy, they can mobilize when it's an issue they care about.
Yeah, prom theme.
They have been told, under the sea.
What?
They have been told that they're going to have to. They had one lunch period when they all could get together and hang out.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't get to see each other. Yada yada yada. Whatever the complaint is. And so the only time that they can be social together is at lunch. And so the schools are saying, well, listen, in some of these schools, we got 1,800 kids. We can't feed them all in 1 hour. So we got to divide it up. And we got to, or a half hour, whatever the time was. We're going to divide it up into 2 lunch periods. And that means, sadly, that maybe you don't get to sit at a table with your best friend.
Right. You and Scooter got to,
exactly.
get together after hours, I guess, after school.
Yeah, you're just going to have to text in between classes. So students are upset by this. I don't quite understand this. When I was going to high school, they already had separate lunch periods. They had blocks. So like you were either part of this, or this.
Right.
And
we were too.
Yeah, you hoped to get the lucky draw so that you were with some friends. You'd all check oh, what's your schedule? What lunch block do you have? Oh, sweet. We can sit together or whatever. Right. So you had the same thing.
4th, 5th, or 6th. We had 8 periods during the day.
Yep.
4th, 5th, or 6th lunch, whatever you got. I mean, you got what you got.
You got what you got.
We had I think 1,700 boys at my all male school.
Oh, you went to an all boys school.
All boys school.
Nice.
And the thing was, we were partnered with an all girls school right next door that shared a gym facility and an auditorium cafeteria facility at the other end of the quad.
Those
both
dances
schools.
must have been very exciting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But that made it even more important which lunch you got. Because
because you'd sit with the girls from the other Catholic school.
We would gather right in the quadrangle between the 2 schools.
That makes sense.
And if you didn't get the right lunch period, that's tough.
Yeah. You
didn't call it a horrendous, causing great harm to students, to quote Leo Fallet.
How does this cause harm to students? That's a good question. How does this cause harm? These are the same kids probably who said we don't want SROs back in school.
Nathan Hale High School.
Nathan Hale High School. Same school.
I mean, you said it. They've got concerns, but it may not be about the right things.
People need to reevaluate what harm means. I hear that a lot. Oh, this has harmed me. Oh, this has caused me whatever. Yeah. Jeez Louise, you get a lunch you don't like, so you don't get to sit with your friends. Laura, did you have separate lunches? You guys all have one big happy lunch together?
At my smaller private school.
You both went to private high schools?
We all had one lunch.
Mine was public school.
Yours was public, but all boys?
All boys. Citywide school. You could go to the school. You had to qualify to get in. You could go from anywhere in town. And same thing with
why don't they have
same
those
with
anymore?
the Western
Do they have
High
those
School that was
anymore?
our partner school. I'm not sure.
They
Here
should.
in Seattle.
You have uniforms?
No, we didn't have uniforms, but we suit and tie on game days.
I like uniforms.
Suit and tie on. I was talking about this to a dear friend. Uniforms make a difference.
Uniforms make a difference.
Because you're talking about kids worrying about the wrong thing. A lot of kids, too many kids, worry about what they're going to wear today,
100%.
how that's going to rate with their buddies, as opposed to did they do the reading, did they do the homework?
Take that stress away. Did you have uniforms, Laura?
No. We had a dress code.
Would you have liked uniforms?
No. In high school?
Who cares what kids think?
If they knew better, they'd be adults.
Looking back, though, don't you think uniforms could be interesting? What do you think now as an adult who's removed from high school enough? Would you see the benefit of uniforms?
No.
You don't have kids yet, so you don't know what a struggle it is to get them to
get them dressed.
Well,
not only get them dressed, but to get them dressed in things that they like.
Did you feel peer pressure in what you wore and your appearance when you went to school?
I did.
What if you could eliminate that?
Nah.
What if you could take that off the table and focus on the things that matter, like, I don't know, getting an education?
Yes, which is apparently a problem
Not to pick on you, but, you probably more than Jake or I, my wardrobe choices were made based on smell, okay? Mm-hmm. Not whether my...
Not what brands you were wearing.
Right, little brands. I'm talking about, does this match, do these checks match these stripes?
Samesies, yeah.
So if
can I get away with wearing this without drawing too much
yeah,
smell attention? Yeah, it's disgusting. Young boys are disgusting. Well, they should be focusing on other things than lunch. I do think uniforms are an interesting idea. They should suggest these. National reading scores. This is our other part of this conversation. They're worried too much about lunch, and scores have just come in reading and in math and science. It's bad. It's very bad. In math, 12th graders nationally, lowest performance test scores since 2005. Only a third of 12th graders are leaving high school with the reading and math skills necessary for college-level work, according to this NAEP test result that they just had to dig through, the National Center for Educational Statistics. Isn't that insane? Only a third of students can even do math and read at the level required to start college?
It's frightening. It's a shame. It's frightening. How do we move forward? What kind of society are we building here?
I have a fix for this problem. It's two-pronged.
Okay.
Let me give you my first prong. It's three-pronged now.
Okay. So you had uniforms.
Uniforms
there you go.
are one of them.
See, you think on your feet.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to adopt new ideas.
I'm not afraid to adopt new ideas. It's a fantastic idea. Uniforms are one of them. Take away the stress and pressure from all these kids who feel like they have to impress other people. Also, you're thinking too outwardly. You need to be thinking about what's going on in your head and thinking about your character development, a little bit less about what your genes look like. So that's what kids need to first focus on. And we as parents, we can alleviate them of that stress. So we should definitely help them do that. Number two, just absolutely boot the cell phones. Just get rid of the screens. Okay. Absolutely get rid of the screens. Yeah. What happened in 2005? 2005, 6, 7 is when they first introduced, I think 2007 is the first year that you could get a full-on like internet functional iPhone.
Oh, yeah, smartphone. Yeah.
Smartphone.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously that is playing a huge part in how kids are engaging with their schoolwork these days.
With the world itself.
With the world itself.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We talked about this just yesterday. This is an interesting conversation, and maybe we should come back to it. But the idea, like yesterday, we were inundated with so much information about this horrific assassination that happened, this Charlie Kirk killing, which was awful. And within minutes, we were in the newsroom here, and somebody said, oh my gosh, it looks like Charlie Kirk might have just been shot. So you go online instantly, and you just go on X, or you go on whatever social media platform you use, and there's all these people posting about it, and it spreads like that. The problem is there's no barrier blocking you from seeing things that you're never going to forget. And so there might be a video floating around out there that a reasonable adult would say, you know what, I don't want that in my brain. I don't want that in my heart for the rest of my life. It's depressing. It's awful. Makes you feel horrible. Also, there's just some things you just can never forget. And one of those types of videos was floating around yesterday.
Yeah.
And
I was spared it because a dear friend saw it and cautioned me.
Yeah.
You don't need to see this. You don't want to see this.
Don't watch this. It's going to haunt you.
But how do you stop it when it's every kid's hand?
But think about that. Kids are seeing these things. And then we wonder why kids are having stress and anxiety at levels never before recorded. Yeah. It's because they're being asked to consider the problems of the world when like the only problem that teenagers really need to be focusing on is like how greasy and bad their skin is.
Yeah.
That's true. It's the only problem. Like when I was in high school, the predominant thing was like, how close can I get to one of those girls without them telling me to go away?
Yeah.
That was something I was interested in. Friday night, was I going to be in a place that was also going to have girls there?
Right.
That was a very big interest to me.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it.
Yeah.
And also like my crummy jobs, my like low minimum wage jobs I was working. Like how fast could I get there and out so that I could spend my $20 paycheck on BS?
You know, we've looped back around. I feel like I'm pro kids sitting together at lunch now.
What?
So in-person socialization, post-COVID.
Well, they still have it. They just have to talk with somebody who's maybe not their best friend. I understand what you're saying, though. But when you start using conversation like this is doing me harm, I don't know about that.
And the student I quoted earlier from Nathan Hale says, it seems like a rushed decision without community input, without community engagement.
Oh, come on. That's just how you talk to school administrators.
I guess.
That's the language they speak.
That is the language they speak.
There's a high school
These kids are parroting. They parrot. The
is
teachers,
a high school student entitled to community input?
The teachers
Community
talk
engagement?
like this. No, these kids are...
You're right.
Yeah, these poor kids. These poor kids. When we come back, actually, I have another... Can I give you my third prong of what's going to fix our youth?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And it's a good one. Everyone will hear this and they'll go, genius. Super genius. And it's super easy to do, and it will be free. It's free to implement. So stick around. We'll be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Well, check your calendar. The rainy season's on its way back. It's time to protect your home with the help of the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled teams deliver exceptional craftsmanship. I can tell you firsthand. Whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation, Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction just speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Give them a call today to schedule your free estimate at 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF, or you can find them online at integrityrc.com.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Metropolitan Markets, PCC, or Safeway. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're trying to fix education.
It's nothing big today.
No, nothing big.
Kind of take it light. Yeah, like
Seattle students are complaining because they have to split their lunch period. They said it's harming us, yada, yada, yada. At the same time, we just had a story about how nationally they haven't had reading and test scores this bad, reading, science, math, since the early 2000s.
It was a dawn of fire last time we tested this bad, right?
Yeah, that was very bad. Very, very bad. Only a third of 12th graders in this country are currently graduating able to read or do math at college level, which when you're sending a lot of kids to college could prove to be a problem for them. So I have three things that I'm suggesting.
You have a three-pronged solution.
Three-pronged solution. Number one is uniforms.
Thank you.
Number two, cell phones.
No cell phones.
Get rid of them.
They get those bags now at some schools.
Yeah.
You put your phone in a bag.
Grab a hammer, smack it with a hammer.
Get it back at the end of the day. And
that's what they should do.
Yeah.
The other thing that they could do is just start giving them old tests from, let's see, how many years ago would this be? This would be 112 years ago. I'm going to give you a test.
Okay.
This is from the Bullitt County History Museum, located in Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Okay.
This is a copy of an 8th grade exam that they would give to 8th graders.
From
1912.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And imagine this all being done in your small, tiny little classroom.
Sure.
You have no access to the outside world. You're living in Kentucky. The internet is not going to come around for another 100-something years until Al Gore invents
still not
it.
there in some parts of Kentucky, but moving
Kentucky just recently got the internet, so they're probably still doing pretty good. Smart-wise. I'm going to give you some of these questions. Okay. You don't need to try to answer them. They're very difficult.
Okay.
They're very difficult.
You don't think I want to get these? I'm intrigued right now.
Okay. You can play along, audience.
Okay.
You can play along.
Give me one.
All right. Here's one right here. Find the amount of $50.30 for 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days with 8% interest.
8% annual interest?
8% annual interest, 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days.
Wow, wow.
$50.30. And you have to do that with just a pen. Not even a pen. They didn't even have pens back then. They just had pencils.
Well, they wrote chalk on the back. Or
probably just chalk, you're right.
Coal on the back of a shovel.
They probably didn't even have pencils back then.
Damn.
When did pencils come around? I'm sure they had pencils.
They probably did have pencils. Well, the nicer school districts.
Obviously,
the nice
this is typed, so they've got it on something.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Yep, that's pretty tough. All right, here's another one. A man bought a farm for $2,400 and he sold it for $2,700. What percentage did he gain?
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's a good question.
You subtract the original price from the sale price. That gives you your profit margin. What percentage of original
then divide.
Sale price was that for profit? Yeah.
And then multiply by, and then I don't know what to do.
I got it, yeah.
All right. At $1.62.50 a cord, what will be the cost of a pile of wood 24 feet long, 4 feet wide, 6 feet and 3 inches high?
Well, that's practical knowledge of what a cord of wood consists of to even get this.
Yeah.
Dang.
Isn't that incredibly hard? Those are just
How is every president not from Kentucky?
Those are just the arithmetic questions.
Dang.
Before they were even calling it math. So just give these old tests. I can give you some of these other questions if you want, some history questions.
This is great.
Sketch briefly Sir Walter Raleigh. Why would a student know how to sketch Sir Walter Raleigh? How do you even know a student can sketch? But they needed them to do that.
Yeah, well, that shows that you know who Sir Walter Raleigh is. At this point, you've probably been taught why it's relevant to you that Sir Walter Raleigh existed.
You've seen his likeness in a book about him?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. He was a guest speaker. How long ago was this?
This was 1912. Describe the battle, and they weren't just closed off to Kentuckian things. Describe the Battle of Quebec.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know what that is.
Wow.
I would have to look that up. I couldn't tell you anything about the Battle of Quebec.
Well, it was probably recent history back in 1912.
It might have been recent history back in 1912. Yeah. Here's another one. Name, let's see here. Here's another one. Name 3 presidents who were assassinated in office. And 2 presidents who died in office and 3 presidents assassinated in office. Those are 2 different questions. And this is in 1912, so this would be like pre-Kennedy. So come up with 3 other people who were assassinated
I don't think 3 presidents of the United States were assassinated in office. I think that
they were actually.
There were 3 assassinated presidents before Kennedy?
4 sitting presidents, yeah.
Who?
There's been 4 total.
I still don't know this.
Kennedy in 63. Lincoln, obviously.
Lincoln, of course.
James Garfield, 1881.
Okay.
This is the one everybody forgets. William McKinley.
McKinley, wow.
Yeah, Mount McKinley, William McKinley, 1901. So this would have been in recent memory because, again, this is 1912. So they would have gotten that one pretty quick.
Looks like I'm repeating 8th grade in Kentucky.
Isn't that intense? Like when you think about how difficult this would be, this is just standard fare in Kentucky in 8th grade. If you gave this to a modern, you're looking at modern adults here, and we're having trouble with it. You gave this to modern high school students,
forget it.
I don't know if they'd have a great deal of success with it.
They prioritized the right things. They knew that an education was the key to a successful future.
Yeah. There you go.
Nowadays, kids think an education is a burden we lay upon them.
Staring at your phone, worried about your lunch break.
On their way to being an influencer.
100%.
Oof.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, old tests. No phones.
Old tests. Get rid of new phones. Wear a uniform.
Wow.
Basically, like, make everything old again. Like, because they wore uniforms back then, too, I bet.
Let's get rid of the last century.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Authorities in Utah released photos today of person of interest in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. CBS's Anna Schechter reports it indicates authorities don't have the suspect's ID pinned down, and they don't know where he is.
It harkens back to the Luigi Mangione case from last December, where it actually took 5 days for the person who assassinated the CEO of United Healthcare to be found and positively ID'd. And it was a member of the public who saw him eating at a McDonald's and recognized the photo that law enforcement had put out. So here, in a similar fashion, law enforcement has put out these two photos.
A number of public officials have expressed concern about security following the killing of Kirk. Linda Kenyon has that.
Republican Representative James Comer was asked about whether he has concerns about security.
I mean, you always think about it.
Standing outside the U.S. Capitol building, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee added,
outdoor events probably are going to be a lot fewer in numbers for members of Congress.
Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has canceled a rally for tonight due to security concerns, while Republican Representative Nancy Mace said she's going to double down on her beliefs and start carrying a firearm. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Millions of Americans took a moment today to remember the events of this day in 2001. Michael George reports.
A bell tolled, marking the moment the first plane crashed into the World Trade Center 24 years ago today. Mournful bagpipes followed, and then the traditional reading of the names of the victims of the largest terror attack on American soil.
Michael F. Camerata.
At the Pentagon, President Trump and the First Lady took part in a moment of silence for the 184 people killed there. And a ceremony was held in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, in memory of the passengers and crew killed aboard United Flight 93.
Skylar Henry reports hundreds of South Koreans boarded a plane in Georgia today after they were detained at a Hyundai plant by federal agents.
We have learned that President Trump has offered those who were detained the opportunity to stay in the country and train U.S. workers. We have also heard from the South Korean president, who expressed concerns details surrounding the raid altogether, while also saying that what happened last week at that facility could potentially have impacts on future Korean investments in the United States.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher, the S&P 500 setting another record. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
Coming up, a shooting leads to a SWAT standoff in South Hill near a school. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. KIRO Radio Rundown's got the update. Up in Everett, eastbound 526 is heavy coming from the Boeing plant over to Evergreen Way, where they just had a shift change at Boeing. This will begin to filter onto northbound I-5, but at the moment, I-5 through Everett is all clear. Seattle and Bellevue to Everett are also wide open. South 5 heading into Seattle jams up in the U District down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 20 to 25 minutes tops. North 5 starts to slow at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. You're slow from I-90 to the VMAC. Pretty thick now through Factoria. North 405, we're looking at scattered slowing between South Center and the VMAC. South Center to Bellevue's a 20-minute commute. Southbound 167 filling in the south end between Pacific and Sumner. And Tacoma to Olympia, right around a 40-minute commute. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. One man is injured following an early morning shooting and SWAT standoff in South Hill. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is at that scene.
Pierce County deputies found a 48-year-old man with a single gunshot wound, then tracked the 20-year-old suspected gunman to a nearby home. After a 2-hour SWAT standoff, the man walked out and surrendered. Deputy Carly Capetto says investigators will now try to determine what happened.
We don't know what led up to this, or if this was just an act of violence, or if there was a relationship. We don't know that yet.
The victim is listed in stable condition.
This all went down near Edgerton Elementary School. Officials there canceled classes in response. Shock and sorrow over the death of Charlie Kirk drew hundreds of mourners to a prayer vigil at Seattle's Westlake Park last night. Our colleague Jason Rantz with Seattle Red attended. He says Kirk empowered conservatives on college campuses.
And you really didn't have a huge conservative voice on these campuses. And so he dared to actually go to them literally and speak and have open discussions and debates on all sorts of issues.
Political leaders on both sides of the aisle here in Washington condemn the violence. State lawmakers say they are out of options to keep the Lake City Fred Meyer open. KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor reports.
Kroger just told State Representative Jerry Paulette the shutdown is happening as planned. That includes stores in Redmond, Kent, and Everett, too. Paulette and others had asked Kroger to wait, hoping to address theft concerns. Representative Daria Faravar even suggested a scaled-back version, just groceries, no extras. She says Kroger agreed to talk again but didn't promise anything. Well, now a letter from Fred Meyer's president makes it clear. According to the Seattle Times, the store will close in mid-October, no matter what. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Gig Harbor say they have busted a major mail theft ring. Detectives saying they found a stolen master mailbox key, a stash of stolen mail, plus drugs and a gun during a car search on Tuesday. 34-year-old suspect is now charged and believed to be tied to similar crimes across the region. Weather forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exterior. Still mostly cloudy right now, but should see those clouds burn off in the coming hours. At least some partial breaks of sunshine. Highs topping out right around 70. Right now we're at 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. We're going to get to your text messages in just a little bit here, so you can send those in at 888-973-5476. You can also hit us up on the YouTube page. Lots of fun. We are live streaming, so you can see our happy, smiling faces. You can also chat with us in the chat. You can chat with each other in the YouTube page, which is a lot of fun.
Download the app.
Just get the app. Get the KIRO.
It's all right there in your hand. Right there, one spot.
Get the KIRO app. You can watch. You can comment. You can listen. All different things, and lots of fun. All right, let's talk about something that's not fun, which was this happened at South Lake Union. This is an interesting story because the police had to follow a blood trail to find the other half of the people involved. There was a guy who was stabbed on a bus in South Lake Union. This is awful. This happened on was this Tuesday night?
Wednesday evening.
Wednesday evening.
Wednesday evening, 7:45 p.m.
There we go. Wednesday evening, 7:45 p.m. Reports of a stabbing near 7th Avenue and Denny Way. We got the story out of KIRO News. Good story.
Just down the street from us.
I mean, it's a horrible story.
Just down the street from us.
Interesting. You're right. It's just
our neighborhood.
This is why I feel like I want to highlight these stories because I just want people to be aware. As much as there might be claims by candidates running for city office that everything is looking great. Hunky-dory, fantastic, crime is down, yada,
Sunshine,
yada, yada.
lollipops, rainbows, and dreams right here.
You can still get stabbed on a bus. In fact, I think this is like the second stabbing this week on transit. So this is, let's see here. Officers respond to a fight that's happening or some sort of a scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
They find a guy with multiple stab wounds. They provide first aid to this guy until Seattle Fire Department arrives. Then they take him to the hospital where he's being treated. He's in stable condition, but these are life-threatening injuries. He could die from this. He's at Harborview. Anytime you hear that somebody goes to Harborview, it's always kind of a question mark. That's where they take the serious ones. So very scary to go to Harborview. It's scary to be stabbed. It's horrible. But police are looking for the other half of this equation. They're like, all right, where's the guy who stabbed? So investigators followed a literal trail of blood. I'm going to read from the KIRO article here. It's pretty interesting. Seattle police said that while searching the area, officers followed a blood trail to a nearby apartment building in the 100 block of Dexter Avenue. A contact team then traced it to a 6th floor hallway. Just imagine how much blood there must have been if you get off of a bus and you walk.
Yeah, you've left a trail. It's getting dark.
It's getting dark.
8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's fully dark at this point.
Yeah.
And there's so much blood that they're able to follow you down the street, into a building, up 6 floors, and then still find you, which is crazy. Officers searched the building. A man called 911 requesting medical help after claiming that he had been attacked on a bus. Police found him on the 6th floor.
As they were searching the building, the guy who was bleeding all the way back home called 911 saying he had been stabbed on a bus.
Yeah, arrested
Cops
him with that
arrested
incident. The 35-year-old man is expected to be booked into the King County Jail for investigation of assault. I'm always interested in how they solve these crimes. In this case, it feels like very like old school gumshoe. Just follow the blood trail.
Yes,
which is crazy.
We talked yesterday about surveillance cameras and how they can be helpful.
Sure.
Didn't need some cameras for this one. It's good old fashioned police work.
Does a K9 unit? This would be a question for cops, but does a K9 unit? Are they able to? Can they bloodhound it?
I think maybe more in the deep south than here.
Is that not? Is that not a skill that they have?
I laugh, but that's a great question.
They should pick that skill up.
That's
it's like an extra thing to train a dog. They all got good noses.
Come on, Blue.
Yeah,
hunt them down.
Even if it's like a German Shepherd or something. Like I see a lot of German Shepherd K9s.
They're amazing. Yeah, that's what they are.
They got better noses than we do.
1,000 times better.
Is it really 1,000
times?
Yes,
1,000 times more sensitive. The canine sense of smell. 1,000 times.
Insane.
Right?
That's
why dogs are paramount in search and rescue. You know, searching through earthquake rubble.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just finding your weed at the airport, which they're also very, very good at.
Yeah.
It's finding, a trace of a survivor's
They're
scent.
good at very many things, a lot of things.
Yep.
They have horrible,
they deserve a
horrible aim,
diet.
though. Horrible aim with the guns.
They never pick up a lunch check.
They never pick up a check, yeah. And sometimes they'll just poop wherever they're at.
Who doesn't? Come on, be fair.
All right, let's move on to a different story. It's totally different.
Which could have been scarier, this next story, right?
Boy, this next story.
Right?
You know, it's funny because we had a story earlier about all these high school kids complaining about lunch, splitting up a lunch. Those kids will eventually...
horrible for them.
Yeah.
Couldn't have lunch with their friends.
Boo-hoo.
They didn't ask us first.
Boo-hoo. They'll eventually end up working at Starbucks, I'm sure, where they will really be part of the downtrodden. Seattle Times has a piece on these poor baristas.
Yeah.
Look at the stuff that they're being asked to do. Unbelievable. They highlight one whose name is Brooke, which I could have just guessed, a barista named Brooke, 23 years old. And she says, boy, is she having a tough time right now because they have a drink called the Strawberry Matcha Strata Frappuccino. and you have to use 2 different blenders. I will say 2 different blenders does seem silly.
It does. I don't get
6
that.
ingredients, 2 different blenders, and they only have a short time with which to get the drink to the customer. 4 minutes, which actually seems like a really long time to me. If I went to a Starbucks and I waited 4 minutes, no thank you. But Starbucks is trying to change things. They have a new CEO. His name is Brian Nichol. He came over from Chipotle, I believe.
Right. $1 million payday because they had to buy him out of his compensation package to Chipotle. This is the guy who brought Chipotle back from
$100 million.
What'd I say?
You said $1 million.
Oh, I'm sorry. $100 million. I dropped a couple decimal points on the poor man.
They paid off his Chipotle pack because he left early.
He had saved Chipotle.
Yeah, grew
and
by
Starbucks wanted this guy's skill sets, this guy's entrepreneurial whiz to take care of their woes.
From the time he started Chipotle to the time he left, he grew their value by 800%.
You gotta
That's
pay.
A big burrito's worth of money.
That's a lot. That's a lot of burrito. That's a lot of cheddar.
Ironically, the size of their burritos, in my opinion, got smaller.
Shrinkflation. Yes, they have.
That's
You're
just my
absolutely
opinion. So he's trying to figure out ways to save Starbucks money, and so he's instituting new policies that baristas are not happy about. At least this article makes it sound like these are put upon things.
Yeah.
For these baristas, which to me, I'm going to read you a few of these. Tell me if you think these are difficult. When a customer walks into a Starbucks, according to these new policies, under new policies, baristas are, Seattle Times, baristas are required to greet customers.
Yeah, look up.
The horror.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah,
How you
exactly.
doing?
They are also supposed to make eye contact when handing over a drink.
For this generation, that's not a small ask.
Isn't it strange and sad that we live in a time where this has to be company policy, where that's just not something that you naturally would do as a human being, an adult who's working in an establishment, where I worked as a barista. Laura, I know you worked as a barista.
I sure did.
Your bread and butter, which I don't think they sell there anymore, actually. But
just pumpkin bread.
Just pumpkin bread.
Seasonally.
The way you make your money is to have personal interactions with people.
Right.
And so they become regulars.
Yes.
And if they like you, they slide you a bunch of money.
And management had to have a conversation with me about that because I
What do you
was
mean?
not being very friendly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I
Were you
was
working at
very-
Starbucks?
No, not Starbucks.
Oh, just a
Small
coffee
local
She said she
place.
was a barista, not a button pusher.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
She doesn't go corporate, man.
I didn't go corporate, but I was like the stereotype of a cold barista
Just an
in a
icy-
bougie little non-Starbucks coffee shop. And I had to be spoken to. Hey, when people hang out by the espresso machine, they want you to chat with them. It's like, oh, I thought they were just really impatient for their drinks. I was very focused on getting things done quickly.
She invented the Seattle Freeze.
You seem
It's the house drink.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
You see, that's a funny phrase. You seem like a friendly person, though. Was this something that were you uncomfortable talking to new people, or was it just because you were so focused on doing
I was
the
focused
job?
on what I was doing, and it just like truly didn't occur to
It
me.
just didn't even occur to you.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I'm a people pleaser, so it was very easy for me. When I was a barista at a place called Tully's, I just like chat all day,
Oh,
just chatty,
Tully's.
chatty. I miss Tully's. They had actually really good coffee. I feel
You
like
did,
the coffee was a little butterier. It had a little bit more grease in it or something.
A little
I don't know
oil.
what it was.
Oil. Yeah.
A little
Little
oilier.
bean. Yeah. Starbucks tends to.
It's all in the bean.
They overcook the bean at the Starbucks. They overcook the bean.
100%. I agree.
Try it out.
They are
Try it.
roasting it.
Yeah.
That'd be my
seriously.
advice to Starbucks. Just like 10 minutes less on the beans.
Well, the new guy, Brian Nichol, he came in and looked at what was going on, and they had become a place where it was a conveyor belt. It was assembly line.
Yeah.
It was get in, get out, get in, get out, and they had abandoned the whole.
There's no character to it.
Right. They'd abandoned the whole neighborhood coffee shop with the comfy chairs, sit down, converse, make community.
Yeah.
And this guy realized that was what got him where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got this goal now to make it more personal. Greet them when they come in the door. Make eye contact. Write a personal message on each cup.
That's a question. That's a question. A genuine message on each cup.
Yeah.
Is it genuine if it's forced? I guess it becomes genuine at a certain point.
Yeah.
Unless like every 5 customers, like if I go back to I don't do a ton of Starbucksing myself. Again, the aforementioned roasting technique. But if I'm going every day and I'm starting to notice that maybe on Mondays it says like cheers, or
Right.
Tuesdays it says like, happy Tuesday.
Today's your day.
Something like
Get
that.
out there and get them.
Yeah. I also noticed when I went the other day, I was late. Didn't have a chair. I usually, you know me, I percolate coffee at home.
Sure.
I spend a great deal of time doing it. I love it.
You take great pride.
I do take great pride in it. Absolutely.
And you get great coffee because of that.
No plastic ever touches a cup before it gets to my mouth, ever. So I am late, so I have time to do this. So I drive through Starbucks, and I noticed, and I thought it was weird, but I noticed that they asked for my name, and I said my name, which is Jake. And
Dirk Diggler. Just want to hear him yell it.
And so, but I was drive-through.
Okay.
They came over to the window, and they wrote my name. They said, "Thanks, Jake," or whatever they wrote. Sure. I don't remember what they wrote. Right. But they wrote it in front of me, and I was like, that's weird that they're writing in front of me. I wonder if they're instructed to write it in front of you so that you can see them writing it.
Oh, as a drive-through customer.
As a drive-through customer, because otherwise I would just assume that maybe it's you could pre-write on cups. That would probably save time, like the night ahead of time, like the cleanup shift.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Jake.
It doesn't have to be specific to Jake.
Right, no, have a great day. Have a great day.
Have a great day. What day is tomorrow?
My gosh.
It's Wednesday.
Assembly line care.
Yeah. So you have quote, genuine message.
Sure.
But it was just written by somebody else at a different time.
Because they've got the new CEO, I get the directive, right? Re-engage, make it comfortable, make it a community. But he also wants them to give fast food efficiency at a comfy, come here often community environment. He wants a 4-minute turnaround on every interaction. Can you have all the things you want? Can you be personal? Can you make eye contact? Can you write a great, and can you still deliver it in the time frame he's setting out there?
I think you can. I think you should be able to deliver most drinks. And maybe if not, if they get a food extra, I think maybe that adds a minute or two. But
of course. At that point, it's important that you've engaged, that you've made eye contact, you've said hi.
But if you're there for more than 4 minutes, you're running out of things to talk about with these people. You know what I mean? You only have so much time in the day, so you do want to cycle them through and get them out of there as fast as possible. If he wants to create an environment like a friend's coffee shop or something where everything is like a big comfy couch and people are playing guitars and stuff, I don't want that.
I don't think they want to go back that far, but they have lost that sense of welcome that they had given to their customer base in becoming streamlined and having, a Starbucks on every other corner in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's trying to return back to the things that got him to success.
They also want baristas. They're having a problem with unionized baristas, of which there's only, There's only 600 of their 17,000 stores are unionized.
Yeah.
So it's a small portion, but still they are unionized by the Starbucks Workers United. They're not happy with the new directives on uniforms, so they want them to wear khaki pants, which they don't like. Not everybody looks good in khaki. I get it. They don't want to wear khaki pants, and they also have, I think there's black shirts.
The black shirts.
But Starbucks is providing these things for them, right?
Yeah. But they want a uniformity to the people that come in.
This makes sense to me. This is
I'm with you here.
Bargain basement rules for an establishment
You're the face of the organization. For all the corporate mucky mucks that are Starbucks and for all the branding that they do and the 17,000 locations, you're still the guy that represents Starbucks when a customer comes in the store.
Yeah, and if you're wearing some dumb shirt that's got a bunch of stuff on it.
It's a circus on your chest out there. And, you want them to look professional.
Totally.
Look like they care about what they're doing for you.
Yes.
I'm all for them. And these kids who get these jobs, and maybe they're not kids, they're young adults.
Well,
maybe
quote one lady here. They quote one lady. She's 41-year-old barista.
Okay. And she's
a union worker. And she goes, I just can't stand wearing khaki pants. I mean, she just has a problem with a lot of stuff. She doesn't like that they're filming them or something. But I imagine some of it's wrapped up in the khaki pants.
Sure.
Not everybody likes khaki. I actually like it. I think it's a nice color.
I wear it every weekend.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, it's great.
I work for the University of Washington up in the stadium during football.
Oh, that's
games.
right.
And I wear.
Do you wear the purple and the khaki?
I wear a black shirt, purple W, khaki pants.
There you go.
Because that way, when a visiting member of the media comes up, they know somebody wearing that is associated with the university.
Yeah, they can
answer
you
any
questions.
You betcha.
You can point them to the bathroom wherever they need to go.
Tell them what time lunch gets served, whatever it might be.
So black T-shirts, khaki pants, or jeans. So that's a pretty wide range. I mean, I don't see why anybody would complain about jeans. Limited facial piercings, which I also think is a good idea. I don't want a bunch of people with piercings in their face.
Yeah, okay.
I am one of those people. I'm just
I hear you. I hear you, buddy. It's about making the customers comfortable. And if the customer looks at you and goes, ah!
No, I think you're putting yourself as a business. It's a liability decision. You're putting yourself as a business owner in a difficult spot because somebody's going to come in. They're going to be respectful about it. Maybe they got a cute little nose ring. They're like a brook that they highlight. They got a cute little nose ring.
Sure.
That's great. then you're also going to have somebody comes in and they've got like 15 piercings, like the kid in Vegas Vacation. You remember that? Where it's like lips are sealed shut?
Yeah.
Now, he's technically not running afoul of anything if they say that you can have facial piercings.
Right. No.
But clearly he's a freak. And so you want to make sure that like you do want to limit the ability of somebody to
interact with the customers. You want to work in the back? Sure.
Well, there's no back in a Starbucks.
Want to write on the cups all night?
Yeah.
You're our man.
He could be the nice, genuine slogan guy. I guess you're right. He could do that. All right. Do we have time real fast to talk about this Link light rail?
Yes, I think we do.
First complete run. This has never happened over a floating bridge. They're very excited about it. They're very excited about it. Let's see. This is, what's his name here? This is Tony Rabin. He's the executive project director. He says that this happened on just the other night. There was all these people lined up, 36 supporters lined up. They brought cameras and pizza to witness this. Ironically,
there was a crowd to observe it.
A crowd.
Yeah.
It's as many people as will ride that train when it's fully completed. They said, Rabin said, let's carry this momentum forward with confidence and optimism, and let's get this thing connecting the east side to Seattle. Do you think this is going to be successful?
Sure it is.
There was a sign, there was a meteor that streaked across the sky. They don't know if it was space junk or a meteor.
Really?
But it streaked across the sky.
We got money to spend on meteors?
Sparks.
Oh,
they have pictures of it as it was going across.
Really? It's divine providence.
Isn't that cool?
That's great. They ran it over empty, of course, first.
Yeah.
At like a walking pace.
Then they loaded it with weight.
Right.
They ran trucks over it to see if the bridge could stand up to it.
And then they ran it at 55 miles an hour, which will be the cruising speed once it's going over and back, over and back, over and back. It's good. It's what you got to do.
Let me ask you this question. You were gone earlier in the week, but they announced at the end of last week.
Okay.
Sound Transit announced that they were going to need an additional $35 billion. Did you see that story?
I'm sorry. No, I missed that. I'm sorry. How much?
$35 billion. So the original cost of ST3, as proposed to the public in 2016 when they approved it, they estimated it was going to be $56 billion.
Okay, yeah.
With cost overruns and things that they've had to work in there, the current cost before this new 30 was $150 billion. They were up to about $150 billion, and then they came out last Thursday and said, you know what, looks like we're going to need an extra 35. So they're at 185 now, $185 billion.
For three, is this the 3 line?
For ST3.
Is that which line is that? I apologize.
So ST3 is it's the project.
Oh, that's the entirety of it.
That's they're saying they need an additional $35 billion to finish it.
I was making sure this wasn't just the West Seattle line.
No.
Okay,
that's true. That might get cut.
That's
they're
what
talking about cutting that completely now.
I've been gone a week. They tried to pull this off while I was out of town.
So $35 billion over budget. Oh, we'll see what happens. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's nice. So I used to go to the airport and come home.
You're one of the 20 riders who did it.
No, I didn't see any pizza, but you know.
Do you know what their estimate is? I'm going to tell you this when we get back. You're going to be shocked. I have for you their estimate for how many people will be using this trip over to the east side by 2030.
Okay. By 2030.
By 2030. Okay. $185 billion by 2030. What percentage of daily riders will actually use the light rail?
Okay.
I'm going to have you guess when we get back.
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
Seattle's Morning News.
I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join Charlie Harger and me tomorrow morning.
What's the cure for the political divide in America? That's the answer.
Leland Vittert of News Nation weighs in on how to unite the country amid tragedy. Mariners, Angels will have the highlights from Game 1 of the big series, and it will be Friday. Paul Holden has your weekend planner tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Meet Sarah. She tried one of those online weight loss programs, filled out a form, got a prescription, and a few weeks later she felt dizzy, weak, and frustrated. No one was checking in. No one was making sure the plan was safe for her body. That's when she turned to Longevity Medical Clinics. Our medically supervised GLP-1 program helped Sarah lose weight safely while we monitored her progress every step of the way. Today, she feels healthier, stronger, and more confident than ever. At Longevity Medical Clinics, we believe weight loss isn't just about dropping pounds. It's about restoring your health with real doctors, real monitoring, and a plan that works for your body. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. Call Longevity Medical Clinics today at 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics. Safe, supported, life-changing. lmclinic.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The FBI says it is now offering a $100,000 reward in connection to the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Utah, where investigators have now released images of a person of interest in that shooting.
Police say they found what they believe to be the murder weapon in a wooded area, a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building,
and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
CBS News has learned Kirk's body will be flown on Air Force Two to his hometown in Arizona.
The 31-year-old Kirk had a massive following among young conservatives. Sierra Elliott is vice chair of Washington State's Young Republicans.
You want change politically, that can be settled at the ballot box. Just violence is never the answer.
In response to a presidential proclamation, Governor Bob Ferguson says flags are being lowered to half-staff until Sunday in honor of Kirk and all victims of political violence. Today, flags are at half-staff honoring the 24-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
Present. Hard.
Seattle Fire Chief Harold Scoggins leading a flag-raising ceremony at the Space Needle this morning.
So this is a somber moment for the fire service and law enforcement, but it's important for us to remember what can happen.
The names of the 343 New York firefighters who died on 9/11 were read today at Seattle fire stations. Washington Supreme Court Justice Mary Yu is stepping down. She announced she will retire at the end of this year, capping a 25-year judicial career. First appointed in 2014, she became the first Asian, Latina, and LGBTQ justice on the state's highest court.
The law is indeed influenced by the lens of each justice and their life experience.
That was Yu at her swearing-in ceremony in 2023. After re-election, Governor Bob Ferguson will appoint her successor. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Washington 811 has our update. South Hill, westbound 512 approaching 31st. A collision's in your center lane. Looks like they're going to clear this here in just a minute, though. You're backed up to the Valley Freeway. Southbound on the Valley Freeway, you're going to get heavy at Highway 18 into Sumner. Tacoma to Olympia, we're doing pretty good, taking just 35 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is a half-hour drive. You'll start to thicken up now along South Center. South 5 heading into Seattle is heavy at Ravenna Boulevard in the U District down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a 25-minute commute. South 5 near Mid-Boeing Field, we've got a collision that's been moved to your right shoulder, but traffic starts to slow back near Corson, about a mile and a half back up here. Bellevue to Renton's taking 20 minutes. You're crowded from 520 to the VMAC, and North 405 is crowded from South Center up to the VMAC. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are still mostly cloudy. They are slowly starting to burn off, though. Should see some sun breaks here in the next couple of hours. We'll see highs top out around 70. Right now, 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're going to talk about today's the 24th anniversary of 9/11, those horrible attacks in New York City, which Spike and I both remember. We're in very different spots in life, probably, but we both remember them pretty vividly. Laura was only 2 or 3 at the time, so I don't think she remembers them. But we will talk about that in just a second. But before the break, we were talking about the new light rail that's heading across the I-90.
Yeah, tested this week finally.
Tested this weekend. Yeah. It at least without people in it, was able to run back and forth. And so now they will continue, hoping it.
First manned test. You think scuba gear? What do you think?
I think they should definitely have some sort of a rebreathing apparatus, just in case.
just in case.
Yeah. Or just have a lifeboat drive alongside. Just a dinghy.
Maybe put one on top of the train.
Tie a dinghy to it. It goes alongside. Yeah, you're totally right. Okay, but before the break, I had asked you, because you were on vacation when Sound Transit announced on before the holiday weekend, which is always when you announce news that you don't want people to talk about.
Yeah. Take out the trash, they call that.
They were going to need an additional $35 billion to complete this. Now, they claim that it's because of this or that, or inflation costs, or
cost
overruns and all that stuff.
Everything's gone up. Sure.
Everything's gone up. But there's just no way. If they're saying that $35 billion is what they need, there's no way. I mean, they've been accurate on 0 numbers thus far. So $35 billion. Yeah. This is the 3rd time that they've given us a new figure.
Yeah.
$35 billion. There's just no way that that's going to do it. So we're going to be talking, and right now we would be at $185 billion. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about a number north of $200 billion by the time this is.
Just be safe.
What is that?
225.
All right. So this I-90 connection that's going to connect up to Bellevue. I asked you before the break, I was going to have you take a guess, and our audience can do this as well. This could be fun. To take a guess at what percentage of riders, daily commuters by 2030. They're supposed to have it done by 2026, so then you give it 4 years for people to start using it.
Sure.
What the estimate is for how many people, what percentage of the commuting population between Bellevue and Seattle will use the light rail. And not only light rail, also the rapid transit bus system called Stride. This is a rapid.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like they use a lot of the same resources.
So we're looking for what percentage of the commuting population between the east side and Seattle are going to be using these elements of rapid transit?
Daily trips to Bellevue and back, presumably.
Okay.
I guess there's a possibility they're just going one way and staying there. But.
Yeah, man, I doubt that. But yeah, okay. I'm going to guess if they get 10% of the commuting population
by 2030?
By 2030, off the roads and onto these buses and trains coming in and out of the city of Seattle from the east side, I think it's probably good. They would call that a success.
So people looked into this. Puget Sound Regional Council looked into data. They crunched the numbers. And by 2030, and this, I think I found this one on an actual old Sound Transit site. This was by 2030, their estimate was that they would carry about 1.7% of daily trips.
Wow, 17%. No, I'm kidding. I know.
Less than 2%.
Less than 2%.
Yeah. And we're talking about a number now that's going to be close to $185 billion by the time this passes or finishes. Not just the bridge. Obviously, that's just a part of it. Yeah.
To take 2 out of every 100 cars off the road. Basically, is that what we're saying, right?
That would be,
1 in 50.
1 in 50. And so when you look at it that way, you got to ask yourself, like, is this the best investment? But we've already spent billions and billions, so who knows? Can we talk about 9/11 for a second?
Of course.
I think it's really important. I know it was a long time ago, but you have nearly 3,000 people, more now since when you consider the firefighters and first responders who have died as a result of health issues from going into those buildings. I will never forget where I was when I first learned about it, because this was New York time, so they were up and awake and living their life.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom, I think I was a junior in high school when this happened.
Okay.
My mom woke me up in the morning as I'm about to, get off to school, and she goes, "You should come watch this on TV. You should come and see what's going on." I mean, she recognized that it was a historical thing happening. And so I went in and I watched it with my parents. It was in the morning. And then when I got to school, I wasn't even sure if school was going to happen that day, but obviously it did.
Yeah.
I got to school, and the only thing all day, all we did in every room, 7 periods or whatever it was, is we all just stared at the TV in the corner of the room. We just watched coverage. How about you? Where were you at?
We were live on the radio.
Wow.
We were live on the radio, and we were, in fact, our news person at the time of our show. We had a dedicated news person on our morning show. Maura Gallucci was her name, former KIRO alumni, joined our show.
Yeah, I know that name.
So Maura came in and said, "You got to turn TV on," because we were doing a rock radio show.
Sure.
Because a plane had struck the tower. The first one, a plane had struck the tower, and because first the speculation was, "Oh my God, what kind of pilot lost control? Was it a medical emergency? Did he lose control of the plane?" This plane had struck the tower, one of the 2 towers of the World Trade Center. So the whole world is watching this fire, and at this point, it was just a puncture of the side of the tower, with some smoke coming out,
and they weren't sure what kind of plane it was.
Right, exactly.
It could have been a Cessna,
small commuter, right?
Yeah.
So the whole world was watching as the second tower is struck.
Wow.
We were watching in real time, live time, as the second tower was struck.
Is it possible you're watching CNN? Because I actually have CNN's live coverage from...
Yeah, I believe. Well, we didn't have sound on, but yeah, I know we were.
They cut to a local news station in New York who was covering the first tower being hit, and then when the second tower gets hit, that's what this sounded like. So you're going to hear the reactions of people. This was live on the air 24 years ago today.
We're going to join another one of our New York affiliates, WABC, for their live coverage.
Plane overhead, and then all of a sudden I thought it sounded kind of loud, and then I looked up, and all of a sudden it smashed right dead into the center of the World Trade Center. Big flash of flame, fire coming out from all over. Then all the bricks is a huge hole right now. But I'd say the hole is. Let me just get a better look right now.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd say the hole takes about. Looks like 6, 7 floors were taken out. And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Hold on just a moment. We've got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay, just put Winston on pause there for just a moment.
Okay, the whole building just some more. The whole top part.
Okay.
The building's still intact. People are running up the streets. Am I still connected?
Winston, this would support probably what Libby and you both said, that perhaps the fuselage was in the building that would cause a second explosion such as that.
That's what just happened then.
That certainly.
Yeah, people are running up.
We're getting word that perhaps.
Okay, hold on. The people here are, everybody's panicking.
Now, one of our producers said perhaps a second plane was involved, and let's not even speculate to that point, but at least put it out there that perhaps that may have happened.
You know, it's interesting. I don't know if this has the same kind of weird effect on people who don't remember that time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a story, New York Times has a story today about all these young people who are like, next generation of people who are related to folks who passed or who died in
or families were affected
Trade Center.
by it, yeah.
And they were reading the names today at the Remembrance.
Yeah.
All 2,977 names. And they have no recollection. I mean, they were like 10 years removed from even being born before, after this happened. But for those of us who do remember it, when any coverage is on of 9/11 stuff, it just takes you right back to it. It's so oddly fascinating, and it's not in a morbid way, but it just transports you to this time where, for just this brief moment, the world just completely froze, at least in America.
Yeah.
And we were all just watching the same thing.
And the world changed. You could hear in that reporter from CNN's voice, the innocence. Well, now we're hearing that there maybe was a second plane involved. And we don't want to speculate, that comfortable naivete we had of the perception of safety was taken from us at 9/11 as a nation, as a people, as a culture. And now I think we've lived differently from that day to this.
I am hoping that the feeling that everybody talks about who lived through that and the experience after the fact, the feeling that people had afterwards, that the unity feeling.
Yep.
We are one nation.
Yep.
I have a strong hope that all of this horrible stuff that happened yesterday with Charlie Kirk does turn things in a direction.
Wouldn't that be a blessing?
Wouldn't that
from
be
such
amazing?
a horrific tragic event? Yes, I couldn't agree with you more.
A turning point, ironically,
could not agree with you more.
His organization, but we can all say, you know what? That was a line that got crossed.
Yeah.
The Rubicon. We can never go back. And that's something we should never allow to happen. And let's move forward. Let's have some unity, even if you disagree with somebody. All right. Just a little walk down memory road there, but obviously we'll never forget what happened all those years ago. All right. We got your text messages coming up next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of great text messages. Let's just jump right in. Laura, go for it.
On closing Kroger's, Gina and Chimicum.
Chimicum. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Got it. She says they need to facilitate replacing the Kroger with a local grocery or a consortium of local vendors of all types in a way that promotes ownership in the hands of the businesses and people that populate it.
Solid plan.
Thank you, Gina.
Greg from Salty says, could Kroger's decision have anything to do with Washington's killing the merger deal as in retribution?
Interesting theory. I'm sure they're probably not super willing to be working with Washington right now.
Exactly.
Since they cost them billions and billions of dollars.
They're not going to waste any effort, any extra time and sweat on making it work here for us.
Yeah. Folks should ask Governor Ferguson about that. Interesting question. Nick and Snoko says a self-contained affordable living development would be perfect there. It's expensive land. Somebody's going to have to buy that land first for $25 million. So I don't know how affordable that would be. But, yeah, good question.
And on a crisis care center in Capitol Hill, 360 says there's a church in Poulsbo that does Fresh Start Mondays every Monday for people that are homeless. They can come in, get a shower, a fresh change of clothes, and a meal, guidance, and just a place to get warm. Maybe if more churches did that throughout the neighborhoods, things could get better. And it's Faith Episcopal in Poulsbo.
Nice. 206 says, how about some other cities help bear the responsibility of taking care of this homelessness, addiction, mental health situation? Many of the people that these problems in Seattle are not originally from Seattle. They're basically banished from their own communities, and Seattle enabled them. Let's spread the burden back to those other communities.
It's an interesting idea, but Seattle will never send them away.
No.
So they're just going to live in Seattle.
Yeah.
On the guy caught impersonating a police officer, Matthew says, I was pulled over by a fake cop in Seattle once. When I questioned him, he took off. Wow. Very scary. 911 didn't seem to care. I'm sure they would care. I doubt they believed you, Matthew, is my instinct.
Horrifying.
But that's horrible. I'm glad you had good questions.
Kip in Lake Bay says, Jake and Spike, you're guys, and it's funny. But put yourself in the place of a woman driving on a rural road and this dude tries to pull you over. What are his motives? It's a joke now, but a rent-a-cop with delusions of grandeur, however his history indicates that there is more to it. Come on, good on those Bremerton police who took this dangerous person into custody. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
That is good. Obviously, we weren't joking about it in a sense where we were saying that we hope that he's dangerous for anybody.
No,
his reactions and the things he was saying to those Bremerton cops they were all laughing at it too because it was quite comical.
Yeah, but it is a dangerous. That's why it's a crime.
Glad he was arrested. Yeah, we don't want anybody to be pulled over by a fake cop. Jesus in Kent says, "Can I swing by and pretend to be a radio host?" I'm certain you guys will think it's comical. That would be interesting. I would probably laugh at that, Jesus.
Come on over.
On Fixing Education, 206 says, you couldn't make a living talking on the radio in 1912 either. Education should be relevant to the times we live in.
Okay.
They could put the pop quiz questions on an iPad.
They could.
Or is that outdated now, too?
An iPad?
Yeah. Take it easy, Grandma.
iPod Touch?
I don't know.
That's... I don't think education has to be that relevant. It's pretty simple. You're like teaching kids how to think for themselves and to learn.
Yes.
You don't need to shove every bright, shiny new thing into their face.
Right.
In fact, those things often become completely obsolete within 10 years. If you're chasing technology thinking that that's the best way to educate somebody, then don't educate kids because that's a stupid thing to do. Teach them how to read and write and do math. Move on.
Goodfellas says, yes, Jake, you are a genius.
Thank you, Goodfellas.
Uniforms, no cell phones, and the tests from the turn of the 20th century. My mother went to one of those one-room schoolhouses in rural Minnesota, and a cousin of mine, an educator, realizes that her dad and mom and mine could have passed the college entrance exams. Most went to high school and aced A's all the way through. One school teacher, usually a single woman, in one room, pencil and paper, state education books on all subjects, often shared between 15 or more students.
Nice.
To your point, education is, we should say,
don't overcomplicate it.
Technology is not the answer.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening today. We're going to post that on our Twitter page, so you can check out the test there and take it for yourself. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free Good2Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused. But for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup, with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Subaru